Qualcomm Stadium on a beautiful San Diego Sunday. The Jets desperate for a victory at 2-5 against the Chargers, who lead the contentions. AFC West, 6 victories, first 7 starts after losing their last 9 a year ago. So they are mighty excited about the prospects of this team in the Super Bowl city, the Chargers.
And why wouldn't they be excited? Because they've got a nice blend of old and young. And when we start with young, we start at the quarterback position, where Drew Brees, in his second year, has taken over the lead of the San Diego Chargers, playing very efficient football. Of course, he's the beneficiary of an outstanding running game. And of course, we're talking about LaDainian Tomlinson, over 1,200 yards a year ago. So far this season on a pace for a 16 or 1,700-yard season. And of course, Dick, they welcome the old man back on defense.
Junior Seau, when you talk to his teammates, his coaches, or the Jets, they all say the same thing. Nobody plays more passionately and all out than Junior Seau. So the Jets come here. I lost a heartbreaker to Cleveland last week to go 2-5, and they hand the ball off to the young quarterback.
They certainly do. Chad Pennington is the guy now with the New York Jets. He's going to have to play big today. Their 2-5 record is not his fault. He's played very well. He's got Lavernius Cole, Santana Moss, big play receivers. And Dick, I think they're going to need big plays today if they're going to beat the Chargers.
San Diego, it's a nostalgic day, Hall of Fame day, so out come the powder blue uniforms for the first time in 2 years. That is the old, and with the new is Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Marty Schottenheimer, the new coach, facing a 2-5 team, Marty, but a team that has speed at the receiver position with Rodney Harrison out suspended today, your strong safety. How do you deal with Moss and Cole?
Well, you know, I'll tell you, Bonnie, what happens in this league, there's always going to be people absent, and somebody's going to have to step up. You've hit the nail on the head. They've got great speed. They're very, very talented in the kicking game. I told our squad this may be the most difficult task we face all season.
All right, Coach, thanks for the time. Although Harrison might be out, gentlemen, keep in mind that Marcellus Wiley, defensive end, Junior Seau, linebacker, are back from injury. Chargers had that bye week coming at an awfully good time, Dick.
All right, thank you, Bonnie. And the speed of the Jets, a major concern of Marty Schottenheimer, and of course their special teams been outstanding, not only when returning kicks, but covering kicks, and so it is as John Hall tees it up. Rashae Caldwell, 82, and Tamarick Vanover, 87, at the Charger goal line to return. They're waiting for Vanover to break out. He's always been a top kick returner, has 8 touchdowns in his NFL career, but has yet to break one in this season. Hall drives it deep. Vanover at the 5, 20. And he is smothered at the 30-yard line. And that's where Drew Brees and the Charger offense takes over. Brees from Purdue. Big but young offensive line. 2 rookies, Ball and Fanotti. Here's his game plan today.
Our game plan for the day is to get out to a fast start after the off week, keep the momentum going. We want to spread the ball around, keep it balanced, take care of the football. When we get down in the red zone, score touchdown.
Keeping it balanced is the key. Curtis Conway and LaDainian Tomlinson have been the 1-2 punch in just the last game or two. Brees has been finding Tim Dwight, and he gets Steven Alexander, another injured player, back at tight end, a good receiver. Throwing on first down, incomplete as receiver had fallen, Tim Dwight. Here are the Jets defensively. They have not defended the run very well this year. Ellis, Evans, Ferguson, and Abraham. Abraham, the top pass rusher. Linebackers, the veterans Lewis, Jones, and Coward leads the team in tackles. And in the secondary, Abraham, a ball hawk. He has 33 career interceptions in just 6.5 seasons. And Herman Edwards, always positive, upbeat, but had to swallow a little bit after that difficult defeat in New York a week ago. 2nd and 10, another throw underneath. It's complete for short yardage to Curtis Conway, his 40th catch of the season, leading the Chargers. Conway, former Chicago Bear, #1 pick of the Bears in '93.
And one of the things the Chargers are hoping to do and have gotten better doing is involving more people in the passing game other than Curtis Conway. They were almost one-dimensional last year in getting the ball to Curtis, but now Tim Dwight has become a starter, and there's their 2nd-round draft choice, Rashae Caldwell. This guy has special written all over him, the rookie from Florida.
On 3rd down, Brees well protected and throws it behind the tight end, Steven Alexander. Josh Evans was applying the pressure on Brees.
Well, can you believe we saw a 3-and-out series to open up this game by the Chargers, and LaDainian Tomlinson didn't touch the football. There's hardly a back in football that is a bigger part of his team's offense than Tomlinson. And in the first 3 plays of the game, he's a spectator.
Chargers hoping to catch the Jets looking for the run, but only 1 short complete pass and 3 throws. And now Darren Bennett, the veteran who had made the NFL All-Decade 90s team as the punter, sends a high wobbler. And it's a fair catch. No, he was going to run it, Santana Moss. And he's dragged down at the 25-yard line. Moss, who returned a punt for a touchdown against Cleveland a week ago. Quentin Jammer made the tackle, the #1 draft pick of the San Diego Chargers. Here are the Jets' thoughts. Chad Pennington on the game today.
Our offensive game plan today is to eliminate negative plays and turnovers in the red area, and also just be patient and have a balanced attack, try to get the ball to Curtis Martin and our other playmakers such as Lavernius and Wayne.
Pennington said we have to get the ball to our best player, meaning number 28, Curtis Martin, off to a slow start, hampered by an ankle injury that healed very slowly at the start of the season. Tight end Anthony Becht in motion. And Pennington comes out throwing as well and fires over Becht's head, who went in motion, then slipped down the sideline. Alex Molden covering him. And here's the defense for the Chargers, who are tough against the run. Wiley, their top pass rusher, back from his sojourn in New York a week ago at NFL Today. Edwards from Kansas City, and of course Seau joined the rookie Lieber, Kansas State linebacker. Molden and McNeil, veterans at the corners. Beckett and Vernon Fox is there, number 36, playing in Rodney Harrison's spot at strong safety. 2nd and 10, Curtis Martin. Oh, is he stuck? Junior Seau is back.
Old uniform, new uniform, no uniform. I don't think it makes any difference. When Junior Seau brings it, he brings it. Folks, this is how a middle linebacker flows, goes upfield, and stops the running back dead in his tracks. It just doesn't get any better than what we just saw.
Junior with that lightning bolt punctuation mark after the hit. It's 3rd and 10. They pick up Seau on the blitz, and it's a screen to Richie Anderson. Tackled from behind. Short of the first down is Adrian Dingle. The 4th-year defensive lineman from Clemson makes a hustle play.
Well, you know, part of the game plan for San Diego is Junior is going to blitz, and he's going to come from every gap on the field. But look how effectively he's picked up by Curtis Martin. Excellent job by Martin of flowing to the inside, reading the proper gap where Seau was going to come, and then chopping it.
Matt Turk has been averaging 42 a punt. It's very high. Tamarick Vanover lets it go. And it takes a lateral bounce out of bounds at the Charger 30-yard line. So 2.5 minutes into the game, each team with a possession and each team 3 and out.
So, how was Florida?
Nice.
A lot of pretty girls on the beach?
Yep.
Probably wearing bikinis, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty girls in bikinis.
Right now, fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by November 7th. So get packing.
You are now free to move about the country.
Believe me, I know this place like the back of my hand.
The Saturn Vue comes standard with 4-wheel independent suspension.
This is it. You're gonna love
Split folding rear seats for more cargo space.
Excuse me.
Check it out! Cannonball!
And dent-resistant side panels.
I'm cool.
The Saturn Vue. Get in, get away. Get a 2003 Saturn Vue at 0% APR, 0 down payment, and 0 monthly payments for 90 days. See retailer for restrictions.
I am a soldier. An army of one. Even though I'm a part of the strongest army in the world, I am my own force. And when it comes to me and my team, every link in the chain is strong. I am Sergeant First Class Brian Berkeybow, and you can see my strength.
No offensive action in the first two possessions, and now the Chargers are back at the 31-yard line. Dwight, the little wide receiver, in motion, and here's LT, and he is met by two Jets shoulder to shoulder. It's Mo Lewis and Jason Ferguson deny LT and a loss.
Well, a good look right there. Pre-snap read. The Jets come up and put 8 in the box. They are going to try to force Drew Brees to be the guy to win this football game, and why not? It's where every defense starts, trying to remove number 21 from the equation. Nobody's been able to do it so far here in 2002.
Fake to Tomlinson, and then Brees down the middle, complete. Tight end Steven Alexander, who played for Marty Schottenheimer with the Redskins a year ago. Unrestricted free agent pickup by the Chargers this season. That's his 8th catch.
Well, it's his 8th catch, Dick, because he's missed the last couple of games with a sprained foot, and there's been no tight end play at all to speak of with the Chargers offense, and it doesn't take long for Brees to find Alexander. The bye week came at a perfect time for these Chargers as they were off last week. They got Alexander, Seau. They've got Marcellus Wiley. This team got healthy.
19 yards on the pickup from the 49. Tomlinson again met in the backfield and dropped for a loss. It was Sean Ellis cutting off the corner, and Josh Evans there to assist.
Josh Evans with a stop with the Jets.
Well, that was the game plan for Herman Edwards. We're going to stop the run first.
Well, this is a defense, as you can see by their statistical standing in the NFL, has been taking a lot of punishment as they're down at the bottom, if not the bottom in a lot of categories. And Ted Cottrell, their defensive coordinator, he feels it just like the players, but they are starting with some intensity and some enthusiasm early.
Second and a long 11. Brees scrambling. And now throws it, and that's going to draw a flag. No, they wave it off.
He got outside the pocket, Dick.
But the ball didn't get to the line of scrimmage on the throw. That's what I thought he might have been flagged.
How close did he get? Here's the line right here. Here's the line of the 2 tackle box. He's got to get outside. Let's see if he's able to get out here when he rolls.
I think he gets out, but does he get the ball to the line of scrimmage?
Well, he gets it fairly close, Dick. That's the yeah, he did. He got it up within a yard or so of the line of scrimmage. That's going to count. That was pretty heads-up play by Drew Brees.
So third down and 11. They've been tough on third down, best in the league. Brees underneath, incomplete, over the head of 5'8" receiver Tim Dwight. The Chargers, except for the one pass to Steven Alexander, sputtering early here in this game. Now it's the Jets' turn.
And that was all on Drew Brees. He had Dwight necessary yardage for the first down. That ball just floated and took off. Sometimes when you take that week off with the bye, it's tough to not come out with maybe just a little extra kick of adrenaline. And right now the Chargers looking like they're maybe a little too frisky. Frisky, Dick.
I like frisky.
Yeah. It's not good though all the time. It's good on defense.
Bennett with a high spiral. Santana Moss, fair catch around the 8-yard line. Well, the Jets will have it inside their 10 after a 44-yard punt by Darren Bennett. Time out.
At the 9-yard line.
Get a 2003 Saturn L Series at 0% APR, 0 down payment, and 0 monthly payments for 90 days. See retailer for restrictions.
Oh, I say, Sony Clear. It's very James Bond, don't you think?
Yeah, in fact, there's lots of Sony stuff in the new James Bond movie.
Oh, how remarkable.
Dad, what's with the accent?
I have dual citizenship.
Oh.
Gear up like Bond. Win one of 4 great prizes, like a movie poster or the grand prize of $50,000 in Circuit City gear. Everyone's a winner. Pick up your game piece at one of our stores. City, Circuit City.
$100,000 reams of paper. 2.5 million overnight packages. 5.7 million gallons of gas every day. Shouldn't small business get a break for buying in bulk? With Open, the small business network, you can save on the things you already buy when you buy them with the American Express business card.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37. Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. And by Saturn, makers of the View, redesigned L Series and the all-new Ion.
Back in San Diego, not many of those roller coasters left. The wooden framework out Mission Beach, Pacific Beach, right on the sand. Jets start from inside their 10. No score first quarter. A quick toss to Martin. Chased and dropped after a gain of a yard. In Lieber, the rookie from Kansas State, a third-round pick, and Rayleigh Johnson. Johnson shut off the edge.
Well, you'll see that pitch to the weak side. The Rams run it a lot with Marshall Faulk, and when it goes big because you're counting on that unblocked end to collapse down and chase. Rayleigh Johnson had none of it that time. He killed the play right off the bat.
No gain. 2nd and 10. Anderson and Martin behind rookie Pennington, the quarterback, who puts it into the flat, complete to Curtis Martin, who dives out across the 15 and is tackled by Ryan McNeil and Donnie Edwards.
And that's part of the Jets game plan today. Get the ball to Curtis Martin in every conceivable way. Not just handing it to him. We're going to see a lot of screens today from the Jets, a lot of flares out of the backfield like this to get the ball into the hands, as Dick mentioned earlier, of the Jets football player, who finally seems to be 100% after that ankle injury.
3rd and 2. Pennington to throw, short yardage, and he finds his tight end in a first down at the 23. Anthony Beck with the catch. Donnie Edwards, the tackler. The initial first down of this game comes with 8:50 left in the first quarter.
Well, they took advantage of Ben Lieber, number 51. You're going to see him in the screen, the rookie linebacker who didn't know where the football was. He had his back turned to the play. If he'd have turned around, that ball came within about a foot of where he was standing. And it's a good thing he was looking the other way. That would have been easy.
Martin up the middle with a hole and struggles forward for 4. As we remind you to log on to NFL.com, see what the analysts had to say in their mid-season report cards about MVPs, Rookie of the Year, surprise teams, disappointments, and more. It's all at NFL.com or on America Online. Enter keyword NFL.com. The Super Bowl city. Super Bowl 37 here in late January.
Nice look. That's truly a bolt head, right?
All of that. Plenty of flash. Now they're proudly wearing those colors this year. Pennington off a fake, looking deep downfield, has a man complete to Lavernius Coles, and a first down at the 49. Ryan McNeil, the cornerback, made the stop. Coles now with 34 catches on the season.
Well, Coles is going to sell McNeil on his downfield speed. Right there, that one jab step before he broke back to the inside was enough to commit McNeil to respecting the deep outside part of the field. That's what speed will do for you. And Lavernius Coles has plenty of speed, and in the 3rd year he shows he's developed some sophistication in his running his route. That was an excellent move.
20 yards on the play to the Jets 49. Here's the reverse, and the handoff is to Santana Moss, and Moss is dropped at the line of scrimmage. Jamal Williams, the 305-pound defensive tackle, stayed with the play.
Brought down by Jamal Williams and Donnie Edwards. No game.
One of the issues for Herman Edwards and this Jets team was they were dead last in the NFL last year. They ran fewer plays than any team in the league, and that's this category we see right here. But look what's happened so far this year. They're already, look how far behind they are. They're like a game and a half behind in plays run. 90 plays behind their opposition through 7. No wonder they're losing.
An average of 13 less plays a game than their opposition as Pennington finds Wayne Corbett on the sidelines and a first down at the Charger 33-yard line. Alex Molden, the other corner, tested, and Pennington is really throwing strikes where his counterpart, Breeze, started off the mark with his passes.
Well, we're looking at maybe one of the best drives of the year so far by the New York Jets. They're running complicated patterns. That was a double move by Wayne Chrebet. That means there's good pass protection back at the line of scrimmage. Keep in mind, this drive started inside their own 10-yard line, and they moved all the way now deep into San Diego territory. An outstanding drive so far.
First down at the 33. Give it to the fullback, Lamont Jordan, or Jordan in there at tailback for Curtis Martin, and Donnie Edwards makes the tackle at the 29, a gain of 4. Donnie Edwards, from UCLA, always light. He still says he weighs around 225, but one of the better linebackers in pass coverage. He has 4 interceptions this year. He's knocked down 6 other passes, and he leads the team in tackles.
Well, what a free agent pickup for the Chargers. Keep in mind, he was the Chiefs' leading tackler for 4 years, and now he's leading the Chargers in tackling.
Jordan again. Lamont Jordan to the outside, to the corner, to the 20, and finally pushed out of bounds at the 18. Another Jets first down. Ryan McNeil finally bumped him out of bounds.
Gain of 11 yards.
Well, this play was designed to break off left tackle. And Jordan, when he gets the read right off the bat that Edwards is pinched by Gerald Sewell, he bounces it to the outside, and the contain isn't there. Here's Edwards right here. You see he flows to the outside, but he's got contained. And the block by Sewell doesn't allow Edwards to fulfill his obligation in having contained. And Jordan, an excellent job of reading the block.
73 yards and 9 plays on this impressive drive engineered by Pennington from the 18. Throws in the flat, complete. Richie Anderson, and he's out of bounds at the 8-yard line. And the Jets doing everything right on this drive.
Well, this drive, Dick, what happened? The Jets, didn't they get the message that they stink and they're supposed to not play hard and they're going to quit and roll over and play dead? The Chargers right now are going, wait a minute, this is a 2-5 team. They're not supposed to be able to do this in our own stadium. I think there might be a little pride involved here on the part of the New Yorkers.
Into the red zone they are now, first and goal from the 8-yard line. They have just 8 touchdowns and 17 red zone chances this year. They like to improve that. And it's Curtis Martin knocked down after a pickup of just 1 as Rayleigh Johnson there get a shoulder on him. Curtis Martin, who has been just an automatic, just right in 1,000 yards plus every season, but not this year. He has only 352 yards, but as you can see, after struggling with that ankle the first 4 games, he's picked up the pace.
Well, he turned that ankle in their opener against Buffalo. That was a real bright spot for the Jets, that win, where Chad Morton had 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns, but losing the effectiveness of Curtis Martin really set the Jets back.
Second and goal, empty backfield. Pennington runs it in. Touchdown for the Jets.
8 yards for the touchdown.
It appeared to be a designated quarterback draw, and no one accounted for the quarterback Pennington to run.
Well, he's faced with taking a sack, because here comes the blitz with Marcellus Wiley unblocked, and Pennington takes off with it. It's tough to read whether or not that was an intentional quarterback draw, but Wiley came in unblocked. It was either a mistake and Pennington capitalized on it, or it was a really effective QB draw. Either way, it's 6 points for the Jets.
John Hall for the point after. And the New York Jets go 91 yards in 12 plays. Just under 7 minutes on that drive. And Pennington with a capper on the sneak.
Oh, Steve, I don't think you should hang the bug zapper over the Bud Light. That's really tacky.
Yeah.
Great party. Thank you.
Yeah, this dip is fantastic.
Great. I love these crunchy things on top. Are they caraway seeds?
Yes.
I didn't put anything on the dip.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Great party, guys.
Fun.
Make it a Bud Light.
All right, look, yo,
Yo. Your style is generic. Mine's authentic made. I roll like a renegade.
To listen to the individual, the metaphysical voice, the fiery change.
Who wants the area bound to barrier with
Who want what? Who pumped us to get rolled
so here I
up?
go with my son. Be film and this may be the only opportunity that I got. You better listen out in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go.
If something's gonna happen, it needs to happen now.
Rated R at theaters Friday.
Okay, you got your file folders, pens, paper, toner. Let's get you some printer labels and you'll be all set.
Jeff Spillane, very underrated. Here's a guy whose knowledge of thousands of office products has quite frankly changed the way people shop.
Mr. Friday.
What is that? Double glazed baby back ribs. And where are the utensils?
Tonight, dig into our double glazed baby back ribs. Glazed with 2 sauces for a one-of-a-kind Friday's taste.
Monday, it's the ultimate girls' night out. Kill one of their boy toys. Parties till he drops dead.
I guess we can't rule out exposure.
All new CSI Miami, CBS Monday.
2 tribes living together on one beach. Now, who's your friend and who's your enemy?
For immunity.
The answers will be revealed. All new Survivor, CBS Thursday.
Chad Pennington, that's only the 3rd rushing touchdown for the Jets all season. The other 2 by Martin, his first as a professional, and only the 2nd allowed by the San Diego defense. Pick by Hall to Vanover. Runs into his own blockers and down to the 20-yard line. And with it a timeout, 3:17 left in the opening quarter, and the Jets have struck first.
Precision, skill, craftsmanship, Goodwrench. With GM certified technicians and advanced technology, no one knows your GM vehicle better than the pros at GM Goodwrench. It's good to know it's Goodwrench.
Michael, you stay and we go to Venice,
I can't. I have a dog.
Stop. Is he kidding? You know, I think his friend Steve back in the U.S. could help him out here. Go!
Hello? Steve. Yeah? It's about Max. Can you watch him an extra week?
Introducing World Class from T-Mobile. Now use your phone worldwide. Get more.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by T-Mobile. Get more minutes, more features, more service. And by GM Goodwrench Service Plus, your automotive service expert.
Looking at downtown San Diego from off Mission Valley. Of course, the Coronado Bridge, that beautiful bridge that goes out to Coronado Island off in the distance. As the Chargers start from the 21 after the kickoff return. And here's LaDainian Tomlinson outside 36-yard line and a gain of 15. The first positive yards for Tomlinson. Let's go back to the touchdown, Dan.
Yeah, let's go back and take a look at it. Here's Curtis Martin right here, and here's Donnie Edwards. And Martin's going to flow out of the backfield. Edwards is going to have to go with him, and that leaves the middle just completely wide open for Chad Pennington. Watch when Edwards has to go in motion when he follows Curtis Martin, and immediately Pennington reads how open the middle of the field is, and it's a tap dance into the end zone.
Back to Tomlinson, and he goes straight ahead to the 39 and 3 more yards into the arms of Mo Lewis. And we go down to Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Dick, the Jets on the board first, but interestingly enough, a report out this morning that Jets owner Woody Johnson was so frustrated with the 2-5 record, he was actually thinking about revoking some signing bonuses and cutting some salaries. And keep in mind, the Jets do have the highest payroll and the highest signing bonus total in the league. But I spoke with Johnson on the field just before the game. He didn't know about the report. He was surprised and angry about the report, and quite frankly, he flat out denied it.
Curtis Conway on the reverse. Mo Lewis chases him across the field and out of bounds, and that one didn't work. A loss of a yard on the play. The Chargers have had great success with reverses on the part of their wide receivers and big yardage this season, but not this time.
Well, you notice they had the big gainer by LaDainian Tomlinson, and that sets it up because it's exactly the same play, only this time Tomlinson hands it off to Conway. A very slow developing reverse. And as it was apparent, nobody from the New York Jets side of the ball caught it one bit.
See, he had averaged 7.8, but the 13 times for the team they've tried that play, it's averaged almost 12 yards per attempt. Timeout in San Diego.
This shot for the cup and a piece of hurling history. What must be going through that young man's head? Has he got what it takes to be a champion?
What are these? Magic business binoculars. How do they work? You look through them, you see the future of business. Wow. The future sure looks different.
What do you see?
It's a 3D holographic projection of the world to come.
Things move fast. Everything's integrated. Everything works in real time.
How'd we get everything to work?
I don't know. It says I need another quarter.
This month on Dave, don't miss Adam Sandler, Halle Berry, Al Gore, Ray Romano, Jack Hanna's Animal, Shania Twain, Robin Williams, and George Clooney. Monday, it's all new Stupid Human Tricks.
And welcome back to San Diego, where the Jets have the early lead with under 2 minutes left in the opening quarter. Drew Brees and the Chargers at 3rd and 8 from their 38-yard line. Out of the shotgun this time. Here comes Mickens on a blitz. Ray Mickens with a sack and a big loss. That's his first sack of the season, and he came in cleanly.
But he comes into the field of vision to Drew Brees, who's looking left, and then all of a sudden he swivels his head to the right, and by that time Ray Mickens is all over him.
Only the 11th sack the entire season for the Jets. Oh, Darren Bennett to punt for the 3rd time in this first quarter. Santana Moss at the Jets 30.
Well, this 31st ranked defense off to a good start today.
Jets outplaying the Chargers both sides of the ball this opening quarter. High Bennett kick. Moss is going to return this one. They pick off the Gunners. 30, 35, and the tackle made by David Binn, who snapped the ball, and a flag is down.
Penalty flag on the return.
Flag is out at the 37 of the Chargers.
David Binn to the tackle for the Chargers.
The illegal use in the hands against the Jets. A post-possession foul that'll cost them 10 yards back toward their own goal line. Bill Levy, the referee today.
Yards on the punt by
That was a 50-yard punt by Darren Bennett with plenty of height.
Oh, Bill Levy just reverses himself, and now he said it's on the kicking team. May reverse himself one more time. He's trying to figure out exactly who this penalty is on. So Bill Levy, initially thinking the call was against the Jets, now reverses it and says it's against the Chargers, and they'll re-kick.
Well, that'll give Moss, a dangerous return man, another chance, and also improved field position. Last week, 63 yards for that touchdown against Cleveland on the punt return. Santana Moss, who paying his first dividends after being the Jets' #1 pick out of Miami of Florida last year.
And we get another opportunity to watch the world's biggest punter, Darren Bennett. They list him at 6'5", 235. I think he's on the far side of 235. He used to be creeping up towards that 250 range. He is a big guy.
And a lot of experience, not only 8 years now in the NFL, but he played 12 years of Australian rules football for the Melbourne Demons and others.
Caught all their games.
They were tough.
The Melbourne Demons.
Convinced Bobby Beathard that he should have a tryout on his honeymoon to the U.S. Kicks this one from the 5. This one is very short. Santana Moss eludes the first man, kicks out of another tackle, still on his feet, one man to beat, and he can't get him. Touchdown! Moss has done it again, and that's exactly what the Chargers were worried about, but a flag is down, and the Chargers are pointing that it's against the Jets. 52 yards, but no, it's against San Diego, and if that's the case, that is a touchdown. Mr. Levy's microphone obviously doesn't work. The legal man downfield, touchdown New York. It's 13-0.
Now for the second week in a row, Santana Moss takes it into the end zone with Damian Robinson being a key blocker on a return for the second week in a row. Damian Robinson was the guy that made a key block last week. He does it again. And all of a sudden, the Chargers and everyone here at Qualcomm Stadium are stunned.
How many times do you see that after a good kick and well covered? As Hall hits the extra point, you have to re-kick it, and that one, the poor kick, and Santana Moss races 52 to the end zone.
One threat.
You have no idea how much I'm about to change your world.
One hope.
I was landing in 007.
With pleasure.
James.
On November 22nd.
Be careful.
Are you a gambling man, Mr. Bond?
If the stakes are right. Live each day like it's your last.
The pleasure of the kill is in the chase.
Let's get down to business. Die Another Day. Rated PG-13. Starts November 22nd in theaters everywhere.
Well, special teams coach Bob Westhoff of the Jets, he has his units cooking. That's their 4th kick return touchdown this year.
And it's a designed left return the same way they scored before. Somehow Moss came in out of that pile. Right here, there's Robinson on Bennett. Bennett had an angle to pick him off on the sidelines. And then it's just the speed of Santana Moss that gets him into the end zone. And Mike Westhoff and his group, you're right, Dick. Once again, they've got it going. And Damian Robinson made almost the same block last week to spring Moss. And there's Mike Westhoff right there. So many years with the Miami Dolphins. And if the Jets had one positive thing that they could feel good about themselves coming into this game, was the play of their special teams. They are among the handful of the league's very best.
So they jump to a 14-0 lead with just seconds remaining in the first quarter. And John Hall picks it off. Caldwell and Vanover at the other end. And it's Vanover. And just as the Jets return kicks well, they cover very well. And it was Kerry Campbell leading the charge, number 53. Well, you saw Moss deliver a touchdown today, and here he is last week against the Cleveland Browns.
This looks similar to what we just saw, the left return again. There's Damian Robinson again. Well, what do you know? There's another block. It's the exact same. Hey, why not run it? It obviously is working for the New York Jets. And Santana Moss, after so many physical problems, you know, he missed 11 games with a knee injury last year. He had a hamstring early this year. Moss is ready to go.
Damian Tomlinson pulled down as a flag goes down at the 29-yard line. Tomlinson is tackled, and it's holding against San Diego, and the Chargers have had a horrendous start today. Marty Schottenheimer, those lips getting tighter.
With a stop for the Jets.
Ball is against the rookie from Nebraska, Tony Fanotti. Giant of a man, 350 pounds.
I asked Marty Schottenheimer, I said, just give me a thumbnail on Fanotti. He's a road grader. 350 pounds of wide body. The only thing missing on that Caterpillar is the blade.
He's not old enough to vote in next week's election, the youngest player in the NFL. Breeze to the sidelines, and it's caught by Conway. Oh, was that a dangerous pass? Sam Cowart over on the coverage looked as if the cornerback was going to come up and pick that one off. A very dangerous pass.
Well, Drew Brees not known for having a real shotgun for an arm, but he's accurate, and that's exactly what that was right there. Donnie Abraham unable to make the play on the ball, and the Chargers pick up a first down, and whoa, we're at the end of the first quarter already.
And the score, the New York Jets 14, San Diego Chargers nothing. Will return to Qualcomm after this message.
Mr. Stevens? Yeah. Got you down for over 130 channels, $39.99 a month. Right. So every channel's digital quality. There's access to 31 premium movie channels, 60 pay-per-view movie titles a month.
Great. So that can go on the back of the roof?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, good. So go ahead and pull around back.
You work for the cable company, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why settle for cable? Get a 2-room DirecTV system with installation for under $50.
Welcome to the kingdom.
Hey, what's up?
Shaq.
How you doing?
Hey.
What's up?
Shaq.
I gotta have an extreme bacon and cheese Whopper.
You got it.
The original Whopper, America's favorite burger, just got extreme. For a limited time, get juicy flame-broiled beef, 2 kinds of cheese, and 4 strips of crispy bacon. You gotta have the extreme bacon and cheese Whopper at Burger King now.
Welcome to the kingdom, baby.
Fred, who knew 1 cup of coffee could do that much damage?
Fred, is a printer supposed to smoke like that?
Hey, Fred, I think I fried the motherboard and the fatherboard, too.
Dealing with technology is hard. That's why CDW makes buying it as simple as possible by having brand name technology products in stock so you can get what you need when you need it.
Fred, where are you going? My email's still down.
CDW, the right technology, right away.
A huge day of college football. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame battle Navy. Then the #1 team in the country, Miami, meets Tennessee. Next Saturday on CBS.
With our producer Lance Barrow, director Mike Arnold, this is Dick Enberg, Dan Deerdorf, Bonnie Bernstein. Beautiful San Diego, where we open the second quarter. The Jets hardly in any mist or fog. They're up 14-0 after the 10-yard holding penalty. 11 yards on that first down pass by Breeze. So it's second and a short 9 as we open the second quarter. Breeze the throw, underneath it goes. It's Curtis Conway, and Conway tackled immediately at the 33-34 by Cowart and Jones, short of the first down. Folks, tonight on CBS, the last Bond in theaters, the first time on network television. Need a hero more than ever, and he's just the man for the job. Pierce Brosnan is Bond. Don't miss The World Is Not Enough at a special time. That's tonight, 8:30, 7:30 Central on CBS, America's most watched network.
Curtis Conway down on the ground and being attended to by the Chargers medical staff.
Jones and Cowart double teamed him, and he was in a tackling sandwich on that last catch.
Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Curtis catches Buzz. He turns upfield. He puts his head down and dives into the ground, and not going to speculate as to what might be wrong.
100,000 reams of paper, 2.5 million overnight packages, 5.7 million gallons of gas every day. Shouldn't small business get a break for buying in bulk? With Open, the small business network, you can save on the things you already buy when you buy them with the American Express business card.
Ford Explorer is alone at the top. It has outstanding handling and the roomiest third-row seat in its class, which are just a couple of the reasons it's the best-selling SUV on the planet. Ford Explorer, the leader, has no boundaries.
Hello, Moto.
Oscar winner William Hurt stars as FBI agent Robert Hansen.
I'm so proud of you.
The worst traitor in U.S. history. Find out how he did it and the evidence that gave him away.
Isolate him with no access. Who are you playing with?
Master Spy, the Robert Hansen story. CBS next Sunday.
They were looking at Curtis Conway's shoulder, ribs, neck as he kind of twists his head around. And we return to the action. 3rd down and 3 at the 33. And whistle. That's usually the offense.
Vaughn Parker pleading his case.
Number 82, offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's Rashay Caldwell, who was in because of Conway out with the injury.
Boy, you hate to get a false start called on a wide receiver who isn't going on the snap count anyway. Caldwell, he's all the way up here. He's the guy all the way at the top. And he just did that little flinch right up there. But the wide receiver, his job is to look in at the football and go on the movement of the football. It's really no excuse or no reason for a wide receiver to have a false start.
And another one. This time it appeared to be the left tackle, Damian McIntosh. We saw the Chargers, one of the cleanest in terms of penalties.
False start. Number 77, offense. 5-yard penalty.
That's their 4th penalty, but the big one was on the punt by Bennett, and they re-kicked it, and Moss took it 52 yards to the house.
Here he is right down here at the bottom. That's McIntosh. He just flinches a little early, and whenever an offensive tackle gets called for a false start, more often than not it is on a passing play as he's attempting to drop back off the ball and beat the defensive end to that spot. As Dick mentioned, though, by far the most critical, the one that gave Santana Moss another chance to return a punt.
So from 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 13, Conway's back in, and Breeze well protected and finally throws it to Tomlinson, who breaks one tackle and then meets a solid tackle from the Jets, and the surge defensively denies the 1st down, and out comes the punting team again for San Diego. John McGraw led the charge.
Well, this ball bounces again. The Chargers, while they got healthy during the bye week, looked like they picked up a little rust along the way. Not fielding balls very cleanly, just like that. Tomlinson had it bounce off his hands. It was a good pass by Breeze, and now everybody in this stadium sweating it out as Santana Moss gets another shot.
The Jets do a good job. They double team both gunners to try to give Moss a lot of time. Open field. This one is a low kick. Plenty of time from the 26. 35. Here he goes again. And Bennett able to get a piece of him and make the tackle. The punter saved another touchdown. There was no one else left in powder blue. Flag is down.
The problem is that ball from Bennett did not have a lot of hang time, and when Santana Moss fielded it, he was at least 15 yards away from the nearest Charger.
Ineligible member of the kicking team downfield, number 57. Penalty is declined. 1st down.
So a 29-yard punt return by Moss, and the Jets are at the Charger 41, leading by 14.
If they ride smoother. If they handle more nimbly. If they fold easier. If they look like nothing you've ever seen before, that's because they all come from Ford. We make the best-selling line of SUVs in America.
Esau!
Your turn.
Hold on. Guys, come on. You've been eating this stuff 6 nights in a row. I thought Hell Week was over. Let's go to Subway. Oh. Sarah, something hot, something fresh made. Anything but round and greasy.
How about a hot, mouth-watering Dijon horseradish melt on Monterey cheddar cheese bread? Or a delicious, hot, sweet onion chicken teriyaki?
Dude, thanks, man. Wait, guys. Which way to the sororities?
Over there. Stamps. At supermarkets. Stamps. By phone. Stamps. Online. Stamps. At ATMs. Along with your local post office. Wherever you find this symbol, you'll find stamps. Conveniently located. Brought to you by the United States Postal Service.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Ford. No boundaries. Subway. Fresh-made sandwiches on fresh baked bread. Subway. Eat fresh. And by the United States Postal Service.
So this big crowd in San Diego stunned. They came in a celebratory mood. 6-1 start, but the Jets have thrown the fire hose on it. And they lead 14-0 and going for more. After Moss's punt return, this time Curtis Martin unable to get back to the line of scrimmage as Jamal Williams and Donnie Edwards make the stop.
You know the old saying about out-kicking your coverage, and that's what Darren Bennett can do. You see how he's upset with himself because it's a low kick. And look, when Moss fields it right there, take a look at the fact that how far away everybody is. You can see that that's a good 15 yards from Santana Moss, and that just gives a talented guy like that way too much time to head upfield.
And he was only one player, the punter Bennett, away from another touchdown return. Play action. Pennington hit in the backfield and down for a loss. That'll be the first sack of the game. Yeah, we'll see where they mark it. Maybe he got to the line of scrimmage. Ray Lee Johnson, who has 4.5 sacks to lead San Diego this year. Does he get one here?
3rd and 11.
Junior came on the sack, but he was picked up. But this is just clearly a case of Chad Pennington not able to find anything downfield. And you like to see a young quarterback that rather than risk a sloppy throw will just go ahead and take the sack. Not the worst thing in the world to take a sack, especially with a 14-point lead.
It was a sack. No loss on the play. 3rd and 11. Pennington again, play action, then dumps it out to Henderson, incomplete. Threw it behind his fullback, who couldn't quite twist and catch. And a little extra curricular activity back at the 45-yard line where Adrian Dingle got really dumped by one of the Jets.
I think Dingle and Jason Fabini, is that Fabini underneath him there? Fabini raises up and kind of gives it to, oh, I didn't know he was there. Yeah, who could feel that guy draped over your shoulders? Accidents like that happen all the time. Right.
Out of the Conrad Dobler School of Fine Art.
Hey, but you know what? It was so subtle. He didn't really do anything wrong.
Here's the punt by Turk. Very high. Beautiful spiral. Then overlooks it. Hit, and it's in the end zone. Almost got it to spin back. Now the Chargers will have it at their 20 when we come back, down by a pair of touchdowns.
Happy birthday, sweetheart.
Wow.
Yeah, I knew you'd like chocolate cake.
Yes, I will marry you.
What?
I love it.
Oh, wow.
I'm engaged.
We're engaged.
I'm so surprised.
And I'm like, I'm the one that's surprised.
How long you been dating?
2 weeks.
Life is best told over a great tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
Hold on. Talk to her. She's excited.
Okay, hi, Mom.
Sam, I'm at the airport.
Hey, welcome back, pal.
Do you remember that conversation we had?
I sure do, buddy. Which conversation was that?
The one where I said I don't do any ads.
No ads. I really got to start writing things down.
Sam, that's the only one, right?
Absolutely. That's it. It was a one-shot deal.
Sam!
There might be one or two buses. Maybe.
Ever notice how many Ford trucks you see out there? Is it because they're so tough? Is it payload? Horsepower? Towing? Their off-road capabilities? The Triton engines? Lasting durability? Or is it all those things that have made Ford F-Series the best-selling truck for 25 straight years? Leadership has no boundaries when you're built Ford tough.
Access NFL.com now on America Online. Get live game day coverage and real-time stats at AOL keyword NFL.com.
How far will Becker go to win the woman of his dreams?
Van Gogh cut off his ear for a woman.
Maybe he was just tired of listening to her talk.
A brand new Becker, CBS tonight.
Welcome back. The Chargers trail 14-0. The Jets impressive here in this first half. 12 minutes left in the second quarter. LaDainian Tomlinson squirts out to the 27. A good gain on first down. And the newest Goodyear airship, Spirit of America, is overhead, providing wonderful aerial shots. Goodyear blimps have been appearing over sporting events since 1925.
Boy, did you see how fast it was moving across our screen there? How does it go across our screen and shoot this picture at the same time?
You're not supposed to know everything.
Wow.
This is part of the mystery. It's a mystery. That's magic. Tomlinson stretched out, and one of those white helmets goes rolling all the way to the 41-yard line, and a flag is down. John Abraham made the tackle.
Yeah, this flag came in very late at the end of this play.
Jason Ball lost his hat, and another penalty against San Diego. Ball is a free agent rookie from New Hampshire. Marty Schottenheimer really excited about him. What a pleasant surprise.
Number 81, offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Alexander, the tight end, guilty.
Tomlinson cuts back, and there goes a helmet. No chin strap, thankfully nothing in it. And as Dick mentioned, the rookie, tighten that baby up. This is the NFL.
Ball playing because of injuries and inserted into the lineup, and he's played like a solid veteran according to all his coaches.
And they lost Corey Raymer, who they picked up from Washington.
Breeze fumbles the ball and has to cover it at the 6-yard line. Well, there have been penalties, misfiring, and now a fumble as the Jets, great coverage downfield. Breeze couldn't find an open man.
No, he could not. He had plenty of time to look. Drew sets up Cox, but just can't find it. Mo Lewis went sailing over, and boy, did this work out fortunately for San Diego, that Drew Brees was the only guy in the vicinity of his fumble. Bounces right off his thigh, and the only guy that realizes the ball is loose is Brees.
Appeared to be Sean Ellis, the defensive end, who got a hand on it. San Diego, one of the best in the league on third down defense. 0 for 3 today, and this will be a tough one to convert. 3rd and 23. And LaDainian Tomlinson able to get some of the yards out, give Bennett some punting room. 3 defensive backs, Abraham, Garnes, and Robinson on the stop.
Boy, Garnes finished it off with a huge hit on LaDainian Tomlinson, and this offense jogs to the sideline, getting a few raspberries from the crowd.
They have only 2 first downs in this opening half and 62 yards of offense.
Well, credit the Jets defensively. They are playing extremely well and very physical.
Mr. Electricity, Santana Moss waiting to take another one at the 35, 40, 45, and finally out of bounds at the San Diego 48-yard line.
At some point here, Dick, I think they got to consider kicking to the sidelines.
Introducing the totally new 2003 Ford Expedition. It's the only full-size SUV with independent rear suspension, for superior control, and a smoother ride. The totally new Ford Expedition. Think about it the next time you go for a little drive in the rain. It has no equal. It has no boundaries.
$100,000 reams of paper, 2.5 million overnight packages, 5.7 million gallons of gas every day. Shouldn't small business get a break for buying in bulk? With Open, the small business network, you can save on the things you already buy when you buy them with the American Express business card.
CBS Monday, the secrets are out. Why is the King of Queens writing a song for his ex-girlfriend? Then, ladies, think your husband's bad? Try spending the day with someone else's. Yes, dear. And when the bathroom becomes a battleground, will Ray lose the war?
The bathroom belongs to the king.
It appears Raymond has abdicated his throne.
And this father just learned his son is a cheerleader.
Shoot me, shoot me, shoot me.
Still standing. It all happens CBS Monday, and later catch Dave on an all-new Late Show.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Gateway, a better way, and by Open, the small business network from American Express. New tools for a small business economy.
One of the many San Diego attractions, SeaWorld, Balboa Park, the San Diego Zoo. He's about the size of Tony Finotti.
Is that the San Diego? Was that a fish taco he was getting right there?
We'll get those later. That's the ankle of Jason Fisk. He's out. Leonardo Carson now a tackle as Pennington. So Richie Anderson, who was tackled by Alex Molden after a short gain. And B Squared, what do you have for us?
Well, Dick, remember, Chad Pennington was telling us this was one of the most bittersweet weeks of his life because, yes, he's playing well. He's completing 77% of his passes in his 3 starts, but his team's 2-5. He said, I don't know what losing is like. The last time I lost 2 in a row was 1997 back at Marshall. He said, if I have to put this team on its shoulders, I will. I'll try to be perfect. He hasn't been quite perfect, but, you know, when you bring a touchdown in yourself, that's not half bad.
That's right. He is nearly perfect. 7 for 9 throwing and 73 yards. Very impressive young man is Pennington. And down the middle, complete to his tight end, Becht. He's 8 for 10. Donnie Edwards, the tackle, first down at the Charger 35.
Besides, you got to like somebody who invokes the Thundering Herd when he goes back to his days of command of the Thundering Herd. And take a look at who would imagine the best completion percentage in their first 3 career starts. Elvis Gerback and Rick Mirer were the fellows that Chad Pennington passed. Not Elway, not Montana, not Marino. Gerback and Mirer.
Pennington steps up. He runs it again. 30 and down. Didn't take the slide and has a first down at the 21-yard line. Carson and Lieber finally got him to the turf.
Well, every time you talk to Herman Edwards about his young quarterback, he always mentions energy. That Chad brings an enthusiasm, and he took a double shot. Boy, he gets hit in the left ribs, and then he gets hit from the right side. Chad, you've got a hook slide, baby. That's what it's for. You get protection. The league is giving you some protection. Take advantage. Don't keep doing that, or you're going to find yourself over on that training table.
That could have been a painful 14-yard gain. He stays in there with a first down at the 21. Wide open in the flat is Richie Anderson, and the Jets are exposing the Chargers in every way offensively. They're finding men wide open as Anderson was on that play before Ryan McNeil could finally get over and make the tackle.
Well, there's some good fortune because Rogers Beckett comes on the blitz from the left-hand side, and they just happen to have the flare pattern going to that side. So they've got Curtis Martin in the area vacated by the blitzer. That is where a call offensively just is in perfect synchronization with what the defense called to the benefit of the New York Jets. Curtis Martin was where the defense was not.
And it's First and goal now at the 10. Pennington underneath the Quebec to the 1-yard line. He didn't quite get in. Ryan McNeil again on the tackle, and everything working, just precision passing from Pennington, and the call seemed to be the exact one for the Charger defense.
And that time the Jets offensive line, which has been getting beat up with some regularity both on the field and in the press, and justifiably so, has been doing an outstanding job so far in this game. That time Pennington all the time in the world to look around the field.
Pennington acting as if he's going to take a timeout here as the clock winding down to 5 seconds on the play clock, and they're not going to be able to get one off. So Pennington exercises the first Jets timeout with 6:17 left in the half, and the Jets a yard away from a 21-0 lead.
You've put a lot into getting your car. The least you can do is spend a little more to protect it. Don't settle for anything less than Syntec by Castrol. Its patented technology provides ultimate protection for your engine. Syntec by Castrol. It's the most important thing you can do for your car.
Well, a fall over Qualcomm Stadium. Jack Murphy Stadium, the great sports writer here in San Diego, was instrumental in having this arena constructed. Look at that. It's not a yard away. It's about a foot away from a 3-touchdown lead. 2nd and goal for the New York Jets. And the Chargers defense acting like a fighter that's draped on the ropes, just taking punishment. Lamont Jordan, the tailback. Play action. Pennington wide open. Touchdown to Anthony Becht. Becht with his 4th touchdown catch of the year to lead the Jets.
This is a whooping here now. The Jets, they were supposed to be down, out, season finished, no life. Questions about whether or not they were going to quit. How about Herman Edwards? Has he got his club to respond or what?
Herman Edwards, in essence, homecoming for him. He graduated from nearby San Diego State as a defensive back before signing as a free agent with the Philadelphia Eagles. John Hall has the extra point. 21-0 Jets.
6:13 remaining, first half of play.
Well, when you're only a foot from the goal line, it's pretty easy to sell the run. That's exactly what the Jets do right there. And Anthony Becht, who fakes a block, just completely neglected. You look at Junior Seau looking back to the inside, questioning who was to have the coverage on Becht. Certainly didn't appear to be Seau the way that he was looking back to the inside. But Anthony Becht, as you'll often see, if you do a good job of selling a run block. Yep, there's Junior on the ISO, and by the time he realizes what's going on, and look at him look back, he's going, who's this? Who's got him?
Maybe it was number 37, Rodney Harrison, would have been there. He's not playing today, suspended by the league. And while Seau seems furious, Edwards very delighted at the performance of his team on both sides of the ball and special teams.
Well, the one thing coming into this game that a big question mark and a key to the game, you'd say, was there any way the Jets defense could somehow contain this San Diego offense? They're so physical with their offensive line. Tomlinson's such a punishing runner, and yet it's been the Jets defense which has completely snuffed San Diego. And conversely, and there's Ted Cottrell, the defensive coordinator, he's got to be so happy. And conversely, the Jets offensive line, which hasn't been very dominant, has been dominant here in the first half so far.
John Hall sends a spinner to Vanover at the 8th pick of it for Shea Caldwell, and Caldwell, the young wide receiver, gets outside, shows his speed, and bumped out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Shea Caldwell on the return. Veteran defensive coordinator Ted Cottrell, and he has his guys ready to go today.
Oh, look how they're attacking the line of scrimmage. Tomlinson absolutely nowhere to go. They were supposed to get shoved around today by this huge San Diego offensive line. Ray Mickens on the blitz comes in unabated. And that time Ellis knocks it loose, and it's almost a touchdown, although moot point, they punted it away, and the Jets scored anyway.
One would think that the Chargers have to put something on the board here in the next 6 minutes to have any hope in the second half. As Tomlinson, little flat pass and able to struggle for 3 yards. Fans wanted a penalty, and they get it, as the hit was out of bounds by Damian Robinson. Little Tim Dwight telling him what he thinks of it all.
Some of those collisions were happening so far into the bench that they were actually behind some people that were on the sidelines. That's when you know you're out of bounds.
Personal foul, Jets. That'll be their first penalty in the game.
And Ted Cottrell is pleading his case.
Personal foul. Late hit out of bounds. Number 29. Offense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Not Robinson, but Donnie Abraham that's ticketed. That'll take the ball all the way to the Jets' 49-yard line.
Well, that's Abraham. That's Abraham at the very. Well, now there's no way that Donnie Abraham could know whether or not he was in or out of bounds. Robinson actually, I believe, goes over the top of Abraham. But Donnie Abraham making the tackle, once you're locked on somebody, you've got to stay with him and bring him to the ground. Yeah, that's asking an awful lot of Abraham to not finish that tackle off.
First time the Chargers have been in Jets territory, and the tight end Alexander rumbles to a first down at the 38 on an 11-yard gain before Coward and Beasley can make the tackle.
There's John Abraham, number 94 of the New York Jets. Very speedy, very athletic. Not a lot of defensive ends are able to get back in on it, but he was in a good position to make the tackle. And if you're going to make the effort to get there and you get your hands around the waist, you got to finish him off and bring him down. Wrap up and finish.
Schottenheimer sends in Terrell Fletcher, the backup to Tomlinson, number 41. Fake to Fletcher, and then they throw in complete to Fletcher, the screen, but John Abraham had invaded and batted the ball down. And a flag down well after the play in the secondary of the Jets. Personal foul, face mask, New York.
Well, Ted Cottrell's defense, which has turned in a stellar half now with a couple personal fouls on one drive.
Personal foul. Pulling the face mask 15 yards after the play. 57, defense. Automatic first down.
Mo Lewis, and that takes the ball all the way to the 23.
That's Tim Dwight, number 85, who comes back, tries to make another block.
Not much of a pull. He may have put his hand around the mask for a brief time.
Well, if he had it, it eluded me. Did you see it?
Just he had his hand there, but he didn't pull it.
No, he certainly didn't snap his head or anything.
A couple of personal fouls, and now it's Fletcher angling to the right side to the 10 and out of bounds at the 8-yard line. First and goal, Chargers. 15 for Fletcher, the backup to Tomlinson.
Well, this is one of the few occasions that we've seen some life here out of this San Diego running game. Just the classic eye toss. Gets the good block by Fred McCrary, one of the better fullbacks in the game. And it's Fletcher, 41, and not Tomlinson, 21, who nicked the Jets defensively. But, you know, the Jets, face it, 30 yards and penalties on this drive are making it awfully easy.
Best in the league in the red zone, or as Marty Schottenheimer calls it, the gold zone. First and goal at the 8. Tomlinson back in, and he is pushed right back. Lewis and Jones, as if to say, what are you doing in here? Get back on your back.
Now, I can only imagine how the Jets defensive line and front seven with Marvin Jones and Mo Lewis and Coward were challenged this week, because this offensive line of the San Diego Chargers so physical, and they have blown everybody off the ball. And I think coming into this game, a lot of people just conceded there was no way that the Jets could stand toe-to-toe and go physical and play physical football against these Chargers. To this point, they certainly have.
Oh, there's a false start on the right side. Vaughn Parker And in your home stadium, that's inexcusable.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 70 offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Third time that San Diego guilty of a false start in this first half. Now it'll be first and goal from the 13. Marty Schottenheimer's team, just as they've been outstanding in the red zone, goal-to-goal situations this year. Out of 10 trips inside the 10, they've scored 9 touchdowns. They don't settle for field goals, but the task is tougher now. Breeze. Touchdown, Conway. Curtis Conway. Finally, they have a chance to cheer.
Curtis Conway just splits Aaron Beasley and Damian Robinson. Boy, you do so much hard work to push a team all the way back out there in a goal-to-go situation. And they just gobble it up and get the touchdown in one play. And it should have been harder than that.
The extra point by Steve Christie, the veteran kicker, formerly at Buffalo, and it's 21-7 on Conway's 5th touchdown of the year.
All the way, Breeze looking to his left, and I'm sure he can't believe his eyes that on a simple little slant in pattern like that Curtis Conway is left that wide open by the Jets secondary. Beasley, the corner to the outside, acting like he thought he had a lot more safety support from Damian Robinson than he did. He gave Conway the inside, expecting Robinson to be all over him, and he wasn't there.
Meanwhile, in the pits.
Well, that's John Abraham going against Damian McIntosh. And you know what? there's some semblance of style points there at the end for hitting the arms up. But it's amazing in the NFL now what an offensive lineman can do with his hands and his arms.
I see you salivating as you speak.
Well, it's certainly a different game than when I played. Defensive linemen must get awfully frustrated the way they get grabbed and manipulated by offensive linemen. And then if it's not bad enough, then you got to have a 330-pound guy do a belly flop on you like that.
Well, like your old coach who stopped by, Sid Hall, was saying,
yep.
Your day, those defensive linemen would head slap you. They had a lot of action that you no longer allowed in the game.
Well, I think it's true. Everybody on the defensive side of the football has a much tougher assignment now.
Kick comes down and out of bounds, and there's another mistake made by the Chargers. They come back and score, and then Wade Ritchie kicks the ball out of bounds, and the Jets will get it at the 40-yard line.
That might be the single most punitive penalty in pro football. When you kick it out of bounds, that it comes all the way up to the 40-yard line. That is a lot of yardage.
Of course, the reason for that is that the NFL wanted the kickoff returns. They want to punish those who want to flirt with the sidelines because it is one of the exciting plays in the game.
Yeah, and the Chargers keep 2 kickers. Steve Christie does their field goals, and Wade Ritchie their kickoff specialist. That's not exactly what I'd be looking for from my kickoff specialist.
Yeah, Ritchie has 12 touchbacks this year, second only to Sebastian Janikowski, the Oakland kicker. But boy, that one,
we've all shanked one before, I guess.
There you go. Well, the Jets with superior field position today, and they give it to their star back, Curtis Martin, and Martin rumbles to a first down at the Charger 49-yard line. Plenty of time, 3:15 left in the half. Wednesday on CBS, don't miss the most anticipated live performance in years when Shania Twain opens the Country Music Association Awards. Alan Jackson, Martina McBride, George Strait, Brooks and Dunn, and Faith Hill with the #1 album in the country. Vince Gill's the host. CMA Awards live Wednesday here on CBS.
Chargers with only a 3-man down front, but here they come with 5.
Steyow is one of those on the blitz, but it's Marcellus Wiley, Jim Nance's newest best friend, who gets the sack, his 4th of the year.
Congratulations on the sack, Marcellus, but you guys are losing by 14 points. So I'd do a little less dancing and a little more getting back into this football game. Good hustle, though, by Wiley. He's a high-energy guy and a really likable fellow when you sit down and talk to him.
He said, just call me Dat Dude, D-T Dude. He said, it's like you're the man. The guy in the top row says, who is Dat Dude?
I asked him if that was a class at Columbia.
Almost picked off on the screen, but it's Martin who's able to drive it down to the 41-yard line, a couple yards short of a first down. Quentin Jammer, the Chargers number 1 draft pick out of Texas this year, made the tackle, and that'll take it down to the 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes to go in the half. The Jets trying to add to a 21-7 lead.
Way cool. Way to my heart. Talk this way. Think of another way. Way to go. One way, two way, ways to get it done. My way. For the highway. Do you know the way? See the world in a beautiful way. See the Milky Way. By the way, I can do all this with Gateway. A better way.
Sometimes it feels like it could go on forever. At Hertz, we know exactly how you feel. That's why we developed Hertz #1 Club Gold. No lines, no paperwork, no waiting. And Hertz Never Lost, our in-car navigation system. At Hertz, we know exactly how you feel. So we have exactly what you need.
Told you this thing was awesome. The 60-inch Plasma HD TV, 4 inches deep, from Zenith.
Good value.
Price is right. What's the resolution?
2400 DPI.
Oh, brilliant display of team chemistry, Dan.
Yeah, Charles Rosen and Matt Herman not only have a command of the products, they anticipate exactly where the other's going to be on the floor.
The last Bond in theaters. For the first time on network television. Pierce Brosnan in a Bond you don't want to miss.
I never miss.
The World Is Not Enough, CBS tonight.
Welcome back. The Jets leading 21-7. Dick Enberg with that big dude and Derek Carr.
I like it.
It jolted, huh? That this Thunderbolts are back in their seats.
Remember when we talked to Josh Evans, he told us we're not panicking. And given the fact how disheartening that loss was to the Cleveland Browns, I have a lot of admiration for the way the New York Jets have come out and started this football game. They are playing like professionals. They're playing with enthusiasm, and they're playing well. They're winning this game because they're outplaying the Chargers.
3rd and 2, an empty backfield, and Pennington under a blitz gets it off to Anderson. Big yardage. He's at the 30 and to the 26-yard line before Vernon Fox able to make the tackle. Quentin Jammer up there to make the stop as well.
And Chad getting his team to the line of scrimmage.
A gain of 15 yards and a first down.
Pennington is 13 for 15 for 130 yards this first half. Only 2 balls hitting the ground. They've moved into field goal range, and now Pennington to the flat, wide open again. Anderson tackled, but drives forward to the 17-yard line, and about a 9-yard gain. Ryan McNeil, the veteran corner.
And how many people, Dick, speculated as to whether or not Chad Pennington was a bust? He played so shockingly little in the first 2 seasons of his NFL career, and yet it seems that he was handled right.
2nd and 1, a big hole for Martin. Curtis Martin to the 5, to the 3, touchdown! What an effort! Curtis Martin.
I'd say Curtis is back.
Ran right over Vernon Fox, who hit him at the 5-yard line. 17-yard touchdown run.
And that's the type of running from Curtis Martin that the Jets and their fans have not seen since a year ago. He just hasn't been able to do it. Surprising power out of Curtis Martin. And Vernon Fox, who's subbing for the Pro Bowler Rodney Harrison, just gets bowled over by Martin and carried into the end zone.
A bad kickoff at the 40-yard line sets up that touchdown as Hall adds the extra point. And how big is that for the Jets as the Chargers finally score to get back to 21-7, and Herman Edwards' team answers immediately, 60 yards in 6 plays. And Martin with a typical, brilliant, powerful run for the touchdown.
Well, it's the one part of Curtis's game that has continuously surprised everybody. He has power for a guy that's not all that big. He's only 205 pounds. But look at that. Look at that leg drive as he carries Fox into the end zone. Now, you know right now, Dick, what's going through everybody's mind who roots for the New York Jets. Uh-oh.
Second half.
The second half. We still have to play the second half.
They were ahead 21-3 last week in the first half against Cleveland.
Watch Anderson come in here. Richie comes in and hits one of the Chargers in the back and actually knocks Martin the last foot or two into the end zone. That was a, you know, you could technically call a penalty on that. You're really not allowed to do that, but Richie got away with it. But yeah, the second half, it'll have everybody in the, I guarantee you Herman will address it. Our failures in the second half, we'll have none of it after a start like this.
The Jets have been outscored 121-47 in the second half. And the Chargers, who have been almost unyielding, only one touchdown rushing all year, have given up 2 in the first half to the Jets. Pennington 8 yards and now 17-yard run by Martin. Tamarick Zanover, his last kickoff return for a touchdown. It's been some time ago. And he's going to relinquish his duty to Rashay Caldwell. And Caldwell out to the 27-yard line. 51 seconds left for the Chargers. We'll see whether Marty Schottenheimer wants to put the ball in the air. And a reminder, the Nextel halftime report with Jim, Dion, Dan, and Boomer for all the scores and highlights. Coming up next, the Nextel halftime report. When we talked to Marcellus Wiley about his experiences back in New York with that group last week, he said, "What'd you learn?" He said, "Wow." He said, "One thing, it was a lot tougher than I thought. The other thing is, Jim Nance is a lot bigger than I thought."
Well, Jim Nance is 6'4", and I don't. If you've never met him before, you are a little taken back. You don't visualize him as that tall.
Fletcher is in the backfield, and Breeze trying to find him. He does. Catch for the sidelines, and then is cut off. So it's tackled at the 35-yard line. San Diego has 2 timeouts, but the clock running, and Breeze trying to get his team in a set position. 32, 31, as you see the seconds tick away. Breeze down the middle, intercepted. James Darling all the way to the San Diego 11-yard line, make it to 10. Darling, who is tough on the pass, his idol Walter Payton, and he had a chance to run like sweetness on that one as Breeze is picked off, and the Jets now threaten to make this a rout.
Well, the Jets sitting back in just a cover 2 zone, and James Darling working the left middle part of the field. You see Darling right there in the middle, and Curtis Conway was way behind Darling. And I don't know if Drew Brees was expecting Conway to run a different route, but it should be no surprise that they were just going to sit back in a zone. There's no way that you play a defense other than a zone in this type of a prevent situation. And his second interception of the year, and James Darling, this is, I don't know, is stunning too light a word for what's happening to the Chargers in this game?
Schottenheimer's team totally outplayed. Jets have 18 seconds to add to their lead. They have 2 timeouts left. And they give it to Lamont Jordan trying to get wide. And he's knocked out of bounds at about the 6-yard line. Make it the 7. And McNeil and Vernon Fox. 13 seconds before halftime, and you'll be caught up with all the scores and highlights with Jim Nance and his Hall of Fame cast back in New York. Some interesting scores as always, and some outstanding plays. You'll get them all on the Nextel halftime report.
Thank heavens the Cincinnati Bengals won. Who would want to be in their shoes? They're off the snide.
Yeah, that's the throw in the end zone incomplete. As Ryan McNeil was covering Lavernius Coles with 9 seconds left. Another play for the Jets, and then the field goal, if not successful, with a touchdown.
Yeah, Coles is going to try to make a move to the outside, and he's going to plant and then trip. You can see his right foot just slid way out from under him. It's kind of a unorthodox cut. Of course, if anybody should be used to poor footing, it should be the Jets playing at Giant Stadium, which is quickly becoming maybe the worst field in the NFL.
I guess they have resided for this game tonight. Pennington throws, deflected, incomplete. Intended for Wayne Grabett, and Donnie Edwards, who has a way of getting into the path of a pass, deflects his 7th of the year.
Well, Donnie Edwards has always surprised people with his range, and I think right there he surprises Pennington in his ability to get up and get outside. He'll start in the middle, but he'll end up making a play on a ball thrown well to the outside. Donnie Edwards covers as much ground, if not more, than any middle linebacker in the game of football.
Got 11. This one is a 24-yard field goal attempt for John Hall. Straight on the hold of Matt Turk. And the Jets, a little frosting with 2 seconds left in the half. They lead now 31-7 as Drew Brees intercepted by the linebacker James Darling, and that sets up the field goal.
Well, the longer you're around this game, the more you're not surprised by much, but I'm surprised.
A reminder, on Monday, tomorrow night, television's most watched new show is CSI Miami. Don't miss an all-new edition tomorrow night on CBS, America's most watched network. And you can get all your fantasy football updates and check out other great fantasy games. For New York fans, this is a fantasy game in San Diego, 31-7 lead. It's all at CBSSportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline.
Dick, I'll guarantee you that going through the minds of some of the Charger faithful after they get off to a 6-1 start wearing their traditional uniforms, they decide to break out the baby blues. The baby blues might be gone for quite a while.
Well, the fans love the old powder blue,
well,
but the owner Alex Spanos prefers the darker colors, and he has the final and only vote.
Well, I'll tell you what, after being behind 31-7 at halftime in the baby blues might get retired for a long time.
Chargers may be singing the blues at the end of this day. And the short kick to Vanover, and Vanover fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by the Jets, but the half is over. Well, that just about underlines the play of this San Diego team the first half, and the locals send the Chargers to the locker room with a chorus of boos. Down to Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Dick, several methodical drives by the Jets. Marty, what have they been doing to get your defense out of sorts?
We have not had a pattern of defense all day. We had the first drive, we were out, and after that, we've had no pattern in our defense.
I got to ask you, 24 down, you'd think you'd come out in the second half, throw, but with LaDainian Tomlinson being your guy, how do you go about closing the gap?
Right now, what we got to do is find a way to put a drive together. Our problem is that we got to give it to them first, so I won't rule anything out at this point.
Coach, thank you.
And the task will be mighty difficult for the San Diego Chargers. They trail 31-7 at the half. Coming up next, the Nextel halftime report after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Thursday will keep you guessing. First, two tribes living together on one beach. Now, who's your friend and who's your enemy?
Things change real quick.
Plus the most dangerous survivor challenge yet. Then, on the eve of an execution, is there a copycat killer on CSI?
This guy may be smarter than me.
And the daughter of New York's top prosecutor is kidnapped.
It sounds personal.
But you'll never guess who did it.
Funny people would like a piece of me.
An all-new Survivor, CSI and Without a Trace, CBS Thursday.
Don't miss Shania Twain live on the Country Music Association Awards, CBS Wednesday.
NFL Sunday Ticket is brought to you in part by Microsoft.
When software quickly connects supply and demand, that's 1 degree of separation. That's business with .NET from Microsoft.
So, Vanessa, like my new phone? Sleek, huh?
Yeah, Ving, it's different.
All the latest features and big buttons.
Yeah, Ving, but don't you think it's kind of...
Did I mention big buttons?
He loves his big phone, and you'll love our big Motorola deals. At Radio Shack, get the Motorola V120C for just $9.99 with activation, regularly $19.99. While you're at Radio Shack, cast your vote for your favorite NFL All-Stars. Radio Shack, you've got questions, we've got answers.
New York City, yeah! T-Rex! T-Rex! Art! Tavern on the Green! Shopping for my children! Broadway, go, horse, go! Go, horse!
Everyone's a fan of New York, and now's the best time to be here. So make a plan to touch down in New York this season. Call 1-800-NYC-GUIDE or go to nycvisit.com.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Halftime Report. Nextel, bringing you wireless solutions.
And on this Marathon Sunday in Manhattan, Jim Nantz with you on the Nextel Halftime Report, along with Dan Dion and Boomer and Jets. Well, Boomer, we hate to say it, second half this year, they've been outscored 121-41, but this is looking very comfortable right now, 31-7.
Well, you're never comfortable if you're the New York Jets, but certainly, finally, this team is showing up for its embattled head coach. You know, he was questioned whether or not his team would quit. They haven't quit. They came out and they showed this is the Jet team that everybody thought was going to be coming out of New York.
All right, let's take
Pennington, I'm sorry, 14 of 18 for 139 yards.
Strong stuff right there. 49ers and the Raiders, and Oakland just before the half has it inside the 10-yard line as Rice has just caught his third pass of the first half. Owens, 4 catches, 108 yards for San Francisco. Woo! Bulger has thrown 2 touchdowns for the Rams out in the desert. They lead it by 10. And meanwhile, the Redskins just stopped Seattle a moment ago, right before the half, on 4th and goal from the 2. They sacked Hasselbeck. It was Bruce Smith with the sack. Earlier today, the Patriots end the 4-game losing streak with a statement game.
And they are honoring Jim Kelly for his induction to the Hall of Fame right there. You see a picture of Jim Kelly. And Antoine Smith gets over 100 yards today. Is exactly what the New England Patriots needed. Gets in for a score. And then a little screen pass. Tom Brady, 4 touchdowns today. And you just get Antoine Smith goes in for a score.
My thing is I just want to do whatever I can do to help the team get a win, because we've been on a 4-game slide lately and we needed a win very badly. I'm just happy that we came out here and got it done.
Tennessee jumped all over the Colts early, then held on to win it and even the record at 4-4. Dion?
Steve McNair right here, throwing his pass to Mike Green for the touchdown. 21st consecutive game with a touchdown, tying Warren Moon. Without Edgerrin James, 3 and 8. 3 and 8. Come on. Tank Williams on the side. Keith Bullock picks it up. Rambles 61 yards, and he's going to high step for me. After the game, Beasley Reese talks to Eddie George.
You know, we just said a couple weeks ago, let's go play our type of ball. Physical ball, ball control. Don't give up any big plays, and play within ourselves, and we pulled off 3 straight wins.
Cincinnati in the guaranteed game. Boy, did they deliver today.
How about it? Who they think going to beat them Bengals? Nobody. Here's John Kitna. 26-yard touchdown pass to Michael Westbrook. That's right, Michael Westbrook. 1 of 4 TDs for John Kitna today.
You know, guaranteeing anything in this life, and especially in this game, you know, you can't really do that. A guarantee would be, you know, I'll give you my paycheck if we lose. That would be a guarantee.
The Steelers, for the second time this season, beat the Browns by 3. They're now 5-3 on the year, Dan.
And big special teams play early by Dennis Northcott. You see right here, he cuts out to the right, and his Steelers special teams really doesn't play well most of the year. Watch this block, though, on the kicker. He's going down the sidelines for an 87-yard touchdown. Look out there, guy. 87-yard touchdown, take a 7-0 lead. And then Pittsburgh comes back with Tommy Maddox, who hooks up with Hines Ward for a 20-yard touchdown. Good throw, Tommy. And Tommy Maddox, 1-yard touchdown to Mark Bruner. And Bill Cowher talks after the game.
And we knew going in that this was going to be a game where we had a chance to put some separation between us and other people. You know, we're 4-0 in our division. And I think with this new format, the one thing that you can be assured of is that you'll get in the playoffs by winning your division. And anything beyond that, you're throwing it up the air.
One of the turnaround teams of the year, Atlanta, with a 4th straight win today, beating up Baltimore 20-17, Dion.
Jeff Flake right here, play action pass. You know it's going to be a deep pass. You got, oh, you don't have time to throw. Patrick Kearney, where are you, baby? Pick it up. Patrick Kearney picks up the ball. Mama, I scored. That was really me, Mama. I scored a touchdown. Right here, Michael Vick hands off. T.J. Duckett going up the gut for the touchdown. Warwick Dunn then fakes to Michael Vick, who's at receiver, who's running down the clock. Michael Vick, tell me something, man.
I just have to take my hat off to Coach Reeves for putting the game plan together and you know, just going out and attacking. So, you know, it don't matter how we get it, as long as we get the win, that's what counts. You know, on a 4-game winning streak, and it feels good.
The Vikings have lost 15 in a row on the road, and the Bucs, Brad Johnson, 5 touchdown passes today.
And you see, here's one early on to Keyshawn Johnson, 2 yards. He's wide open. Where's the coverage? Nowhere around. And they're up 24-0 at this point. Then Brad Johnson once again throws a 19-yard touchdown to Keyshawn Johnson. A good catch. Big day by both Johnson and Johnson.
Yeah, 2 touchdown catches. That equals the same total he had in the last year and a half.
His career.
How about the Eagles today winning in Champaign?
Well, it was ugly in Champaign, but not for Donovan McNabb. He takes off on a quarterback draw. What a great player he is. Then here, Hugh Douglas says, hello, Jim Miller. Remember me from last year? Donovan McNabb tells us all about it.
Anytime you get in a situation where you have 2 teams battling, you know, it's going to be a tough game. But, you know, I think what helped us out was the fact that we just continued to stay poised and confident in everything that we were doing, picking up some big plays, got the ball in the red zone, just able to come out with points.
All right, Deion, take us to the finish of Dallas and Detroit.
6-7, Cowboys had the lead. But you know what? Take a wild guess why we showing you this highlight. Because Jason Hanson hits from 43 yards out. Good! 9-7. That was for Tony.
It was the only highlight. That was the only highlight in that game.
And the Lions have surpassed their win total a year ago. They're now 3-5. We'll send you back to San Diego for the second half. Thanks for being with us on the Nextel Halftime Report.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Halftime Report. Nextel, bringing you wireless solutions.
Oscar winner William.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Halftime Report. Nextel, bringing you wireless solutions.
Getting ready for the second half. The Jets leading San Diego 31-7. It's the Hall of Fame weekend. The 29th and 30th members in the Charger Hall of Fame. Quarterback Stan Humphries on the left. Boss Ross, Bobby Ross, his coach, took those 2 men, took them to the Super Bowl a few years ago.
Take a deep breath.
For immunity.
All new Survivor, CBS Thursday.
Here you go. You just programmed your new digital video recorder.
So now I can watch all my favorite shows whenever I want?
Yes, sir.
So if I just walk out the door right now, it'll record?
Automatically.
I'm stepping towards the door, and I'm not missing a thing.
Right.
It's prime time, and I'm leaving the house. I am now on the porch.
Introducing DirecTV Digital Video Recording. Now you can watch what you want, when you want to watch it. Visit these retailers for a demo today.
So how's it coming?
Good. This one looks pretty exotic.
Cool.
Mosquito nets. What's that? Maybe not that exotic.
Great. Everything you need to choose the hotel that's right for you.
Expedia.com. Ticket, please.
No, I'm just here to see previews. I don't really need a ticket.
Hi. Okay, so give me track 3 off of this one, and 5 and 6 here.
There's nothing in the real world like DirecTV DSL. Call now to get your first 3 months at $19.99 a month.
Nice place. Show me around. Does it really have a hot tub?
Call 1-877-4DSL-JOY.
Obviously, the new Silverado is here. Silverado, the truck from Chevy.
NFL Sunday Ticket is brought to you in part by DirecTV DSL.
A touchdown cannon has been muffled here in San Diego, 31-7. That matches the highest scoring total by the Jets in regulation all season. You have to go back to the opener when they won in overtime against Buffalo.
The cannon is clogged. And who would have thought it? It has been complete and utter domination by the New York Jets. And again, you have to admire the way Herman's team has responded to the challenge. And you take a look at them offensively, they have spread the ball. Everybody's had a chance to be involved. There goes Lavernius Coles getting in the mix. Pennington has distributed the ball. Wayne Corbett on the far sideline. And, of course, the guy that they counted on coming in, Curtis Martin. And so it has been a very complete, and look at the way the pass distribution has been around. But you see the bottom one there, 8 to the running backs. That was by design. They thought that would work against the Chargers. And when you look at numbers, Dick, it's no surprise as to why the Jets are in the lead, especially when you look at this. The San Diego Chargers have a total of 49 yards rushing.
When Tomlinson and the Chargers rush for 100 yards or more, they're 6-0. Denver was able to stop the run of San Diego, and that was the single loss suffered by the San Diego team, 26-9. Well, the Jets are doing it today.
Yeah, and coming in, the party line was there's no way that this Jets rush defense, 31st in the league, would be able to control this vaunted San Diego attack. They've not only controlled it, they snuffed it.
Chad Morton at the 1. He has 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns, but he's wrapped up at the 21 by Carlos Polk. Bonnie?
Well, Dick, we talked earlier in the game about how the Jets really haven't had a lot of offensive plays. And needless to say, Herman Edwards thrilled with the fact that his team's been able to get some sustained drives going and put some points on the board. He said the other big thing was we haven't put ourselves in a lot of third and long situations. And if you think he happened to mention his team blowing that 21-3 halftime lead against Cleveland last week, you win the big prize. He said, guys, we're going to face adversity. This time we have to deal with it and finish them off.
Yeah, the Jets giving up a differential of 74 points in the second half. That's by far the worst in the league. Let's see if they can pick it up today as the flanker screen to Lavernius Coles, and Ray Lee Johnson makes the stop.
Well, there's what we've talked about the second half. The Jets only a 3-point differential in the first half, but you look at the second half as they have just been snowballed by a tune of over 70 points in the second half. And of course they'd have to kick that up to over 100 to lose this game. Every first down now for the Jets just becomes just a confidence builder for them.
2nd and 6. Martin is squeezed and then driven down as Leonardo Carson, playing for the injured Jason Fisk at defensive tackle, led the charge.
I think back to the way this game started, Dick. The Chargers started offensively and threw 3 passes. LaDainian Tomlinson wasn't involved at all, and they punted the ball away. Now, you don't want to go back to one series, but was that not a microcosm of what's happened in the first half to San Diego?
Well, that's what Marty Schottenheimer, he seemed bedazzled by it all. We're out of rhythm, out of sync.
Yeah, well, that started it. I think that started it.
It did. 3rd down and 6. Big play here. Pennington under pressure. He goes long for Moss. Incomplete. Quentin Jammer, the rookie, on the coverage as they try to catch the Chargers in a blitz and go for the bomb.
I don't know if you can have a much better name for a cornerback than Jammer. And Quentin Jammer, you saw that he was unaware of where the ball was. It really landed right on the hands of Santana Moss. So that was a superb pass by Pennington and could have ended up in a Jets big play.
3 and out, just what the doctor ordered for San Diego. What a kick by Turk, all the way to the 21 to Vanover. He's to the 30 and then thrown out of bounds at the 34. Gerald Soule made the tackle for the Jets. A 54-yard punt, 13 on Vanover's return.
Right now, fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by November 7th. So get packing.
You are now free to move about the country.
fly somewhere in the Acura TL Type S.
The Last Bond in theaters. For the first time on network television. Pierce Brosnan in a Bond you don't want to miss.
I never miss.
The World Is Not Enough, CBS Tonight.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Chargers first possession, second half, trailing 31-7. They're at their own 34. And Drew Brees to throw. In the flag, complete to McCrary, the fullback. Tackled at the 37 by Sam Garnes. A gain of only 3. Garnes, a former Giant out of the Bronx, New York. High school. He's a New Yorker to the core. His favorite player growing up in the city was Al Toon.
Al Toon, good choice. He's been bothered by a broken thumb. He's finally feeling completely healthy. The first 5 weeks of the season, that thumb was really a hindrance.
Alexander resets on the left side of the line, and they run that way to Tomlinson. And it's Marvin Jones who comes up to make the hit at the 41. It'll be 3rd and 2. And a Charger down on the play. One of the big offensive linemen, Damian McIntosh.
McIntosh was pulling to lead the play, and I believe one of his own teammates landed on his ankle. Boy, he looks to be really hurt.
All right, let's see here. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths.
A real fixer-upper for artistic creative types. Formal dining room with sweeping staircase. Oh, honey, a fireplace. Doesn't that sound fabulous?
What do you think?
We'll take it.
The new 6-speed Acura CL Type S.
Growing in numbers, growing in speed. People that come together, we are made of stars. No one can stop us now. We are made of stars.
Welcome to the kingdom.
Hey, what's up?
Jack.
How you doing?
Hey.
What's up?
Jack.
I gotta have an extreme bacon and cheese Whopper.
You got it.
The original Whopper, America's favorite burger, just got extreme. For a limited time, get juicy flame-broiled beef, 2 kinds of cheese, and 4 strips of crispy bacon. You gotta have the extreme bacon and cheese Whopper at Burger King now.
Welcome to the kingdom, baby.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37. The Intel Pentium 4 processor. Can a better computer really change your life? Yes, Intel. And by Acura and the 260 horsepower TL Type S.
Back in San Diego, Qualcomm Stadium, they're still working on Damian McIntosh. They've helped him to his feet, and he's really favoring that right ankle, right leg.
Yeah, here's Damian McIntosh. He is right here. He's the guy blocking on Mo Lewis right there. Watch at the very end of the play on his right side. There's Sam Cowart, who's going to roll right up on his right leg right there and catches him. He never saw it come. There's McIntosh at the complete right of your screen, and he just gets caught completely unaware. Sam Cowart flying in there trying to make the tackle.
So Big Ed Ellis, 6'7", 325, the 6th-year tackle from Buffalo, replaces McIntosh. And on 3rd and 2, Brees the quick throw, and no flag. It appeared that Dwight was hit by Beasley before the ball arrived. So the Chargers now are 0 for 5 on third down conversions, and that was one of their strengths this year. Bennett to punt once again, and that means Santana Moss with 1 touchdown, and Bennett saved a second. He's itching to go again at the 15. And down 31-7. Any fake kick is a possibility.
Well, I sure would kick it to him.
Toward the sidelines this time.
Yeah, that's.
He's not going to return those. That landed 10 feet out of bounds.
No, that'd be my MO for the rest of the game.
Jets will start at the 34-yard line. 12 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Will it catch the competition by surprise? Will it become the car by which all others are judged? Will lightning strike again? The all-new Accord from Honda.
What have you been up to, Mr. Moneybag?
It's okay. I put it on the credit card.
Those interest charges are going to get us.
Don't worry. It's our new Capital One No Hassle card.
The Capital One No Hassle card has the nation's lowest long-term fixed rates, $0 fraud liability, and no telemarketing.
What's a wallet?
Oh, I say, Sony creates. Very James Bond, don't you think?
Yeah, in fact, there's lots of Sony stuff in the new James Bond movie.
Oh, how remarkable.
Dad, what's with the accent?
I have dual citizenship.
Oh.
Gear up like Bond. Win one of 4 great prizes, like a movie poster or the grand prize of $50,000 in Circuit City gear. Everyone's a winner. Pick up your game piece at one of our stores. Circuit City.
Access NFL.com now on America Online. Get live game day coverage and real-time stats at AOL keyword NFL.com.
A sub is lost at sea, and the reason why could be more than anyone can handle.
Did the Angel Shark have a self-destruct mechanism?
All new Jag, CBS Tuesday.
Back in San Diego, shadows growing here at Qualcomm. First down, Jets at the 34. Martin. Nothing inside, nothing outside, except the powder blue jerseys. Seau and Jamal Williams and Alex Molden all in on the stop. Damian McIntosh being carted off. They're looking at his right ankle.
And as you see what's happening here in the AFC West, Denver, Oakland, and Kansas City have to be pretty excited when they saw this halftime score.
And a loss in the division would make San Diego 2-2, would put, in essence, Denver in first place. And the Chargers have a very difficult second half of the season. Their schedule is a real tough one. Pennington with a screen to Martin. Oh, what a tackle by Ryan McNeil coming up from the corner.
As you take a look at the San Diego schedule from here on out, you take a look at the first 7 opponents up top, 5 games below 500. Well, that's certainly not the case on the balance of their schedule. And that is as difficult closing schedule as you're going to, especially when you consider the Rams, one of those teams at 2-5. And I think we'd all agree that they're a little better than that.
Well, they'll be favored at home next week. Fans trying to help the defense on 3rd and 10. Seau ducking up into the line, but he doesn't come this time. The throw's in the flat, complete to Beck, the tight end, and he dives forward for the first down at the 45. Good effort by Beck. Vernon Fox made the tackle.
Vernon Fox with the tackle. And this is a case where San Diego just not paying a whole lot of attention to Anthony Beck. Look how open he is when he catches the ball, and that's asking an awful lot of some of the guys, you know, Keith Lyle in that situation running parallel, trying to make that play. And Junior Seau, He's going, man, I'm glad they didn't throw this ball to Wayne Chrebet. That's not Junior's specialty, having to run 10 yards backwards and get into pass coverage. A much better player up within a couple of yards of the line of scrimmage.
Pennington again. 17 for 22. Down the middle to Chrebet. A sliding catch and a first down at the 35-yard line. Rogers Beckett secured the tackle. 18 for 23 for Pennington. You saw those numbers, almost 80% in his first 3 starts, and he's right there again.
Well, what a job by Wayne Chrebet of going down and digging out a low pass. He gets down there, he slides in. I'd love another look at that. At first glance, it looked like it hopped off the ground, but no, Wayne just a perfect slide, protecting the football, cradling it, and keeping it off the ground.
20 yards for Chrebet, who has missed some action this year with that right knee femur microfracture. Pennington, incomplete. Then it's caught it on the ricochet as Reggie Anderson has it bounce off his chest and right back into his lap.
Well, this Jets offensive line is doing one sensational job as Junior Seau gets right up on the line of scrimmage and comes on the blitz. Look at Pennington. Nobody even near him. And this is Richie staying with it. Look at Junior right up there, and look how he's picked up. Randy Thomas comes down, takes Junior to the inside, half tackles him, brings him to the ground. But this is the new NFL, folks.
That's how you do it.
You got to pick a guy up and twirl him once or twice to get called for holding these days.
2nd and 9. Seau again. And he's cut down the line of scrimmage. And Lavernius Coles, the intended receiver. Vernon Fox covering. And tonight on 60 Minutes, what was a California doctor doing with some of the world's most deadly germs in his refrigerator? And what was his connection to South Africa's notorious Dr. Death? That's tonight on 60 Minutes.
As we mentioned earlier about the Jets and their woeful production as far as running plays and trailing their opponent, so far in this game they're at a plus 13. And keep in mind the statistic you gave us earlier, they average 13 plays a game fewer than their opponents.
They turned it around in every phase today. Here's a 3rd and 9 call for Pennington. Steps up, hits Lamont Jordan, and Jordan has another first down. Just dumps it off, and that's been a very effective weapon. No one open deep. Pennington has just selectively found someone out of the backfield wide open. Ben Lever, his name hasn't been called much today, finally got the tackle.
Well, his offensive line, though, is keeping the pass rush off of him. Again, you see, that's all the time in the world to throw a football, and again, he's not touched. The San Diego pass rush is being completely erased by this Jets offensive line.
Herman Edwards, by far the best performance of the season, although the Jets did win that thriller in the opener at Buffalo in overtime. They gave up 31 points. They've been tough both sides of the ball today. The toss to Jordan. Jordan dragged down on the tackle by Donnie Edwards. All right, folks, what's your take on the progress of the franchise new Houston Texans? Ahead, about where you thought, struggling more than you expected, or great uniforms? Well, cast your vote at NFL.com. How about Love, the quarterback?
And they got beat by the Cincinnati Bengals today. The Bengals pick up win number 1. Makes somebody happy.
2nd down and 9. Pennington almost intercepted. Intended for Anthony Beck, and Rogers Beckett had it zeroed in, but Alex Molden was there as well, and the two defenders for San Diego denied each other.
Now this is like the center fielder running into the left fielder, or in this case I guess it's the right fielder with Molden coming in there, and boy, they're lucky they didn't get hurt. That's the type of situation. But this ball, as we have seen on a couple occasions, has floated on Chad Pennington. Chad has overthrown about 3 or 4 guys today where the ball just got away from him and really took off.
3rd down and 9.
I didn't get that play off in time.
Well, where's the whistle? It took about 3 seconds after the 0 hit the scoreboard, and now delay of game.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Well, we're in California, Dick. Everything moves a little slower. Much more leisurely pace out here.
Well, that is very true. Even the clock seemed to move slow. Well, this week on The Late Show, Dave's all new with Stupid Human Tricks, Halle Berry, Brittany Murphy, the Wallflowers, Kid Inventors, and Julianne Moore. It's all new all this week on The Late Show right here on CBS, America's most watched network. 10th play of the drive, 3rd and 14. Pennington underneath. Santana Moss, and he almost fought forward for a first down. Tackled at the 16. And that'll be a yard and a half shy. So John Hall is beckoned from the sidelines to kick a field goal.
But again, look, so out of character for the Jets. A time-consuming, multiple-play drive, ate up some clock, chewed up a lot of yardage, put your team in a good position to add to your lead. Just uncharacteristic of what the Jets have done so far this season. A very pleasant surprise for everyone who follows the Jets.
32-yard attempt. And that one drives through. Hall is 2 for 2. And the Jets have scored first here in the second half. 34-7.
What is it? It's a UBA.
A UBA?
Universal Business Adapter.
What's it do?
It connects anything to everything.
What's this for?
Your laptop, your mainframe, call center, Unix servers, Linux servers, internet, supply chain, payroll system, HR, email.
Slick.
Is it affordable? Fast?
Easy?
Very.
Does it work in Europe?
You need an adapter.
In car 1. Go for 1. Looks like we got some uninvited visitors flying in from the west.
Looking for a little preview, huh?
Better come on in and cover up that car right now.
Roger that. I'm at the 3rd turn. I'm coming in.
Introducing the much anticipated all-new Accord from Honda.
Try the NFL XL deal from Pizza Hut and Pepsi. Get a free 2-liter Pepsi when you buy an extra large pizza for only $8.99. Only available this season on Sundays and Mondays, so call today. Only at Pizza Hut. You make the call, we'll deliver the deal.
I think this photo paper is just what you're looking for.
Wow, great price.
David White, 3-time Employee of the Month, Dan.
He has a natural ability to match a customer's needs with his budget. Really a go-to guy in these situations.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by IBM. E-business is the game. Play to win. And by Zocor. Talk to your doctor about Zocor today.
As you may have noticed, the painted Charger helmet at the 50 has the number 37 on it. Rodney Harrison, a not too subtle reminder that he has been suspended for this game by the National Football League for his helmet-to-helmet hit on Jerry Rice. Obviously, his presence felt his lack of presence. This is Caldwell, and Rashay Caldwell fumbles as he goes for extra yards, and the Jets appear to have it. They do. An absolute demolition derby for Marty Schottenheimer today.
Wow. I guess some days it just happens. What's the old, someday you get the bear and someday the bear gets you. This is just this is a monumental pile of mistakes. You can see where the ball came loose initially. Caldwell fighting to get a grip on it. He ran another couple of yards, still trying to get a hold of the ball right there. You can see it's pulled loose by Campbell, and he never did get a good solid grip on the football again until Darling falls on the loose ball on the ground. And that's it just seems impossible that the Chargers can be imploding like this. They are collapsing in among, on themselves. It's hard to believe.
Curtis Martin on first down, tackled at the 25, and Darling now with an interception and a fumble recovery for the Jets as we watch the action from above. Those spectacular aerial views from the Goodyear plant. Spirit of America floating overhead. Good to have the Spirit with us in San Diego today.
Oh, now Marcellus Wiley is limping off the field.
On top of a mistake-prone performance on both offense and defense, San Diego's had 2 starters, Jason Fisk and Damian McIntosh, limp off with ankle injuries and have not returned. And now Wiley is Pennington into the flat, complete the Martin. Well defended by Alex Molden, the veteran corner from Oregon. Well, next Saturday, we've got a treat for you on CBS. College football doubleheader. Notre Dame Fighting Irish licking their wounds after that upset at the hands of BC. Take on the midshipmen of Navy. And then the nation's #1 team, the Miami Hurricanes, go against the Tennessee Vols. For more, you can log on to CBSSportsline.com. America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline.
Notre Dame went to their green jerseys yesterday. They weren't kind to them.
Maybe it is a jersey thing this weekend.
Starting to wonder.
Pennington batted in the air, incomplete. Leonardo Carson didn't see the ball as it fell behind him. He may have actually deflected it.
I think he did. Carson out here playing this defensive end position, and he gets up in the air. Yep, and he hits it with his left hand and then can't find it in time. That's okay. You did your job, big fella.
Oh, on comes John Hall for the hat trick. He's 2 for 2 from 32 yards and from 24. And this one be the longest of the 3, a 43-yard attempt. Partially blocked. No good. It appeared to be Adrian Dingle, number 90, in the center of the Charger line.
So that's the second blocked field goal in 2 weeks for the Jets. Hall had one blocked last week that could have tied the game with Cleveland.
Since I had my bypass surgery, I have a new outlook on life. I don't sweat the small stuff. I take time to stop and smell the roses. And I enjoyed life's little surprises. And on a more serious note, I take Zocor. Along with diet and exercise, Zocor lowered my cholesterol to where it should be. Zocor is also proven to significantly reduce the risk of heart attack among people with high cholesterol and heart disease. And in the past 10 years, more than 140 million prescriptions have been filled for Zocor.
Zocor is a prescription medication and is not for everyone, including women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant, or people with liver problems. Your doctor may do blood tests to check for liver problems because serious side effects can result. Tell your doctor about any muscle pain or weakness you experience and about any medicines you are taking.
Along with diet and exercise, ask your doctor about Zocor and take care of yourself. It's your future. Be there.
Here's your forecast. 63 degrees with scattered showers throughout the day.
All right. Hey, we got Chad coming in from Wall Street. Chad, what's happening out in the market?
The S&P is trading at heavy volume as the Dow is up and the NASDAQ is up.
Looks like everything's looking up today. We got Chopper John coming in with a traffic report. Chopper John.
Yeah, Jim, you want to avoid the Old Mill Parkway?
I love Chopper John.
When you can do all this and more with a wireless phone, that's M-Life from AT&T Wireless. Your mobile life made better. Let's go.
Don't miss Shania Twain's live performance in the first 5 minutes of the Country Music Association Awards. Plus, Alan Jackson, Martina McBride, Kenny Chesney, Brooks and Dunn, and the return of Faith Hill. Vince Gill hosts the CMA Awards, CBS Wednesday.
Adrian Dingle getting a hand on that John Hall field goal attempt to deny. So the San Diego Chargers start from their 33. A Charger offense that has produced only 119 yards. Only 40 yards from LaDainian Tomlinson, and he's not in there. Terrell Fletcher is. Breeze down the middle, complete to Alexander, the tight end. And a first down at the Jets 41. And San Diego is going to go with the no-huddle.
And it's, they have no choice at this stage of the game.
4 minutes to go in the third quarter.
They've got to go no huddle for the rest of the game.
Out of the backfield to Alexander, the tight end again, and he's pushed down at the 36-yard line by Sam Cowart and company. Gain of about 5 on the play. Alexander, who played his college ball at Oklahoma, is the state high school high jump champion, 6'8", terrific athlete. Breeze again goes short to Fletcher, and Fletcher to the 26-yard line. And somebody say, well, why, when you're trying to save time, didn't he go out of bounds? Well, until you get to the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, it doesn't matter. The clock's going to basically keep running.
Yeah, the clock will stop initially when you go out of bounds, but as soon as it's reset, the official will wind it. And right now the Jets are sitting back in that cover 2 that Ted Cottrell likes so much, and they'll give the Chargers stuff underneath.
Breeze again has to dump it off to Fletcher, and Fletcher pushed out of bounds at the 17-yard line by Sam Cowher.
Let's go back and look at that blocked field goal in a hurry. Adrian Dingle is right here. Take a look at him. This is a case where he gets penetration. He splits the gap and gets inside Jason Fabini, and that's not on John Hall for hitting a low field goal. That was penetration on the part of Dingle.
Who was giving the Chargers some good quality time as a backup. He has 4 sacks this year. Well, 2nd and 1 for Breeze and the Chargers with 2:30 left in this third quarter. LaDainian Tomlinson back in, and he gets the handoff. And he drives down to the 6-yard line where it will be 1st and goal as the Sarge, Fred McCrary, as fullback, led the way.
1st and goal.
Well, we've seen precious little of that so far in this football game, where the offensive line of the Chargers just removes the Jets and gives LaDainian Tomlinson a chance to run downhill. That's been a very rare occurrence.
Tomlinson again, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown. His 8th rushing touchdown this season.
Well, again, it's just mashing at the line of scrimmage by the Chargers offensive line. And we haven't seen it so far this game where they've got the Jets back on their heels and actually pushing them off the ball. And that's when Tomlinson is at his most dangerous, because he's an aggressive running back. When he gets a chance to turn it upfield, and that's blocked.
And so Steve Christie has the favor returned by Josh Evans. Evans, the man who's always smiling, and he'll have a big smile now. In fact, when we talked with him, he said, Dan asked him, are you always laughing? He says, well, not when I'm talking, but I'm laughing all the rest of the time. What a high-spirited guy he is.
Well, does Evans explode off the ball, Dick, and get about 2 yards into the backfield. Evans, watch Josh Evans as he just goes right through the San Diego line. Look at that. Oh, that's just an individual effort. He just takes Ed Ellis and just removes him back off the ball. And that's the first time since we've been here that we haven't seen Evans smiling. Here's LaDainian Tomlinson follows good blocking into the end zone. And then John McGraw, too little, too late. That happened 2 yards into the end zone. Tomlinson didn't like the hit, I don't think.
But to salve the wound, the touchdown for Tomlinson, 67 yards in 6 plays for San Diego. It took them 2 minutes and 22 seconds to get 6, not 7.
Yeah, the difference now is with that blocked extra point, 3 touchdowns and a conventional extra point will tie the game instead of giving San Diego a 1-point lead. So how's that for a stretch, huh?
Well, that's a nice little test of some
stranger things have happened.
You bet. It might get there's the onside kick, but it doesn't go 10 yards, and flags fly. It was almost as if Richie didn't know what to do. He knew it didn't go far enough, and at least he picked it up so that the Jets didn't.
Well, you're darn right. You can't just let it lie there.
No, there was that thought, well, what do I do now? Well,
and you can't bat it forward after that. You can't. There'll be none of that.
What was surprising, Dan, was it would have worked. The Jets, you would think, would be alerted to the fact that there could be an onside kick, but they actually had been retreating. It was there.
Offside. Illegal touch. Number 5, kicking team. 5-yard penalty, re-kick, second kick.
You see, that's That's the way the rule works. It's not like the Jets have a choice to take the football there. The ball has to get to the 40-yard line before the Chargers can recover it, and the ball just didn't cooperate.
You could see there was plenty of room to recover it.
Yeah. He just didn't put enough oomph into that kick. He oversold it. That's like stubbing your pitching wedge where you want to hit it 50 or 60 yards and you just kind of stick it in the dirt and it goes about 8 feet.
Get another chance.
Yeah.
And that's what Richie has now. They won't try it now. They've given away the scheme. So Richie hits his best kickoff of the day all the way to the end zone to Chad Morton. And Morton out to the 24-yard line. Maybe angry at himself, but a flag is down back where the Chargers kicked off.
Well, they almost certainly were offsides. That's the only penalty you can call back there.
So Richie really nails one, and that one will come back. So
now, let's do it one more time. And for the guys on the Chargers cover team, they're not very happy about this.
Number 45, kicking team. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
It's fatiguing to run 80 yards down the field full speed, and you got a whole bunch of guys that are taking their time getting back to have to do this one more time.
Joey Goodspeed, 45, was offside. Hard to pick him out.
I can't tell which one was Goodspeed, although he was certainly trying to demonstrate his name.
And flags fly, and that denies Richie by far his contact on a kickoff. And now the Chargers will have to kick off from the 20-yard line.
And against, Chad Morton, who I think we all know his abilities as a return man. And this is where you got to suck it up a little bit as the kickoff coverage team, because their lungs are burning a little bit right now after that last go-round.
Goodspeed fourth in from the left is where he's positioned this time. Not nearly as long. Morton at the 12. And wrapped up at the 29-yard line. Good solid tackle by Jesse Chapman. Bonnie?
All right, well, Dick, I talked to you about how Herm Edwards spoke to his team about facing adversity at halftime. He specifically told them to look out for the hurry up. Sure enough, the Chargers go to it. LaDainian Tomlinson scores, so maybe he's psychic. A couple injury updates on the Chargers side for you. Offensive tackle Damian McIntosh, questionable with a high ankle sprain. Keith Lyle, also an ankle sprain. He's a backup safety. Remember, they're already down a safety because Rodney Harrison has been suspended. And as for Marcellus Wiley, defensive end, they were doing some of those knee stability tests, but it looks like he's going to give it another go.
All right, thanks, Bonnie. It's every statistic and every injury report a negative for the Chargers. Handed off to Martin. And Martin unable to pick up a yard right at the line of scrimmage. Junior Seau and Rayleigh Johnson in on the tackle.
Rayleigh Johnson with the stop.
The Jets in the second half this year have had 40 possessions with 4 touchdowns. But today, with a 34-13 lead, their job is just to chew up first downs and run out the clock.
Well, they turned in a very solid possession last time, even though it ended up with a blocked field goal. It still was a solid piece of work by the Jets offense.
Here comes Lieber. That flushes Pennington. The throw's downfield complete. Lavernius Coles with a leaping catch in front of Alex Molden, and a first down for the Jets at the 45. 50 seconds left in the third quarter.
Dick, we did Chad Pennington's first start a month ago, and I know that you, like I, am very, very impressed with this young man's poise. And look at Coles go up and get another high pass. Chad has been throwing the ball a little high, but his poise in the pocket, he moves, but he moves to find someplace to throw. He's not moving to run and take off downfield. His pocket awareness and pocket movement, I think, is very good.
Yeah, it looked like Lieber had a shot. There's Santana Moss, and read by Molden, who, as soon as Pennington raised his arm, raced toward the intended receiver and dropped him for a loss. And that will conclude this third period in San Diego. The New York Jets come West with a 2-5 record. How impressive they have been. They lead 34-13. We'll return to Qualcomm after this word from your local station.
What was this California doctor doing with some of the world's most deadly germs in his refrigerator? And what was his connection to South Africa's notorious Dr. Death? 60 Minutes tonight.
For the first time on network television, Pierce Brosnan, The World Is Not Enough, CBS Tonight.
NFL Sunday Ticket is brought to you in part by Bridgestone.
Advanced technology. It's all around you. Cell phones, laptops, and of course, the road-gripping, rain-loving Bridgestone Turanza. Stops on command, corners like a dream. Today and thousands of miles from now. The new Bridgestone Turanza LST. If only your browser navigated this well.
I can't stay here another minute.
Not what you need to hear? Then Super 8's where you need to stay. As clean as can be 1,900 times over. Clean, friendly Super 8. All the room you want.
This place? For that kind of money?
Not what you need to hear? Then stay here at Super 8. Clean, comfortable rooms because we inspect them more than any major economy chain. Clean, friendly Super 8. All the room you want.
Introducing a new idea from America Online. New America Online 8.0. We listened to everything you asked for and designed new AOL 8.0 with better, more personal ways to stay close to the people you care about, the things that matter most, and to do it all more easily and more safely. AOL 8.0. It's not just a new version, it's a whole new vision.
Welcome.
Yeah, the Jets started that first quarter. Chad Pennington, 8-yard run up the middle for the touchdown. Santana Moss, a 52-yard punt return for a score to take a 14-0 lead, and they've been in command throughout. Throwing the flat to Coles, and he's tackled at the 50-yard line by Ryan McNeil. And that'll bring up third down. Wednesday, New York. Jets coach Herman Edwards answered the press.
You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire.
That in response to the fact they were 2-5, does it really matter? Is the season over? Or will you play well at San Diego? Well, his team has backed up his words. Pennington batted in the air. And then right back into the arms of Pennington, who knocked it down. That was Junior Seau playing basketball there with a block.
I think what you can say, Dick, is the team certainly responded, and not just to Herman's word, but they responded because they're professionals to a dire situation being 2-5. But you have to look back at that game last week in Cleveland. They're up 21-3. They blow that lead and lose the game. If they were to go on and win today, and they would have won last week, they'd be at 4-4. They'd be at 500. And in a position coming off a big win like this in San Diego to really make something of the second half of the season.
That's absolutely right. It's painful for the Jets fans. As Vanover, for some reason, fair catches at the 5-yard line. So Drew Brees and the team will start deep in the hole when we come back.
Hey, get down here fast. They got the silver one. Okay, bye.
Claim your Volkswagen. With more standard features than ever, the right time to get a new Volkswagen is right now.
For over 8 years, DirecTV has brought America the best in television entertainment. And our customers have shown their appreciation in many unique ways. We simply figured it was an emotion they couldn't put into words. Until now. DirecTV, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction among satellite and cable subscribers by J.D. Power and Associates. Get a 2-room DirecTV system with installation for under $50.
Okay, you got your file folders, pens, paper, toner. Let's get you some printer labels and you'll be all set.
Jeff Spillane, very underrated. Here's a guy whose knowledge of thousands of office products has quite frankly changed the way people shop.
Bond. James Bond.
For the ultimate DVD action, no more foreplay. We've got your number. Own the 007 Special Edition DVDs now.
Monday, when their son joined the football team.
Hit me. I'm the kicker down.
Kick. It was a dream come true.
That's my baby! He came out of me!
But now, he wants to be a cheerleader.
Hips, steps, sashay, sashay, sashay.
Shoot me, shoot me, shoot me.
All new Still Standing. CBS Monday after Raymond.
59,772 at Qualcomm Stadium. Watch the Chargers in first place. Play their 4th game of the season. The Jets have been outstanding. Tomlinson wrapped up, totally no gain. Not much there. Mo Lewis and Sam Cowart, the backers.
with the stop.
Another injured Charger on the play. It's to be
80-something. Is that
Alexander, Stephen Alexander, the tight end, who had missed a couple of games with a right foot injury. Chargers with a 6-1 lead, a bye week, getting 3 players back that were on the injured list, and the injuries mounting today.
Second and 9.
Alexander, watch it from the right of your screen. Let's look for number 81 to make an appearance. There he is right there. Oh, and you can see he gets bent over backwards, and then the pile falls right on the back of his feet, but he got his right leg really pinned back underneath him at a very awkward angle. That's where it pays to be flexible. That's why that's why teams work so much on stretching and flexibility. Your body gets contorted sometimes into some weird positions.
Tomlinson. And boy, the Jets are playing with some ferociousness today. Reed and Ellis. And they said, no way, a couple of yards, and that's it for Tomlinson.
Well, it's a defense that's been giving up over 400 yards a game, almost 160 yards a game rushing, 31st ranking out of 32 teams in this league, and they have shown no resemblance to those kind of numbers in the way they performed here today in San Diego.
This is the Jets team that went 4-0 in the preseason and then won their opener at Buffalo, had everyone excited in Gotham. Breeze throws, almost intercepted. It was Sam Garnes leaping in front of Curtis Conway. And now San Diego, best in the league on third down, 0 for 6 today.
Maybe the bye for the Chargers wasn't such a good idea. They got Wiley back, and they got Junior Seau back, and they got Stephen Alexander back. Those are the only 3 things that have happened positively for the Chargers as far as that bye. You're right. It's really a strange situation how the byes affected the Chargers.
Santana Moss stands at the 50, and Bennett will kick out of his own end zone. High floater. No fair catch. Moss at the 45, gets by the first man, and here's the wall. He's at the 40, and tackled at the 36-yard line by Justin Peel, the rookie tight end.
I really think they should stop kicking to him.
Would seem like a good idea to kick it out of bounds. They've done it once.
That is the Morph-Array, and that, of course, is Jerry. The Morph-Array is used in Ratchet and Clank to turn your enemies into chickens.
You know, wait, before you do that, just explain to me how it's going to work.
Oh, it worked. Jerry's a chicken. Are you sure we can turn him back, Jerry?
The Morph-Array, one of 36 weapons and gadgets not fit for this world. Rated T for teen.
mailbox that way? Hey.
You're closer to a Volkswagen than you think. And with more standard features than ever, the right time to get a new Volkswagen is right now.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. Heineken, it's all about the beer. Heineken. And by PlayStation 2. Live in your world, play in ours.
And welcome back to San Diego.
What happened to it?
A little coastal fog floating in to add a little drama and romance to this Sunday night. 37-yard moving goal line. Appreciate those things. Martin caught in the backfield, and the entire Charger defense zeroing in on him. Alex Molden coming up from the corner, helping Marcellus Wiley.
Well, Chad Penning today, as Pennington's had to put the ball in the air, but again, he's become a very high percentage passer. And of course, the Jets haven't been doing it today, running the football. But Pennington has become the story, I think, of this team offensively. His percentage of completions and how good he is at taking care of the ball. Lavernius continues to scare people with that speed.
Second down, 16. Martin for a big hole onto the 33-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 6. Molden makes a tackle. Well, the one featured performer that deserves extra attention for the Jets is Santana Moss with 115 yards in punt returns. He's given the Jets short field all day long, as is the case in this possession.
And Darren Bennett, having to kick out of his own end zone under pressure, loses really the ability to try to angle it towards the sideline. You're just trying to get it away and get it away cleanly. But I would have stopped kicking to Santana Moss a while ago. Even at a loss of yardage, kick it to the sidelines.
On 3rd down, Pennington throws short, but it's long enough for a first down to Lavernius Coles, who ducks into the 23. Donnie Edwards and Alex Molden with the tackle. Here's how the scoring developed today, with the Jets. Pennington getting it started.
Yeah, he takes it in himself when he sees nobody open right up the middle. Then Santana Moss, for the second week in a row, takes a punt return for a touchdown. Anthony Becht gets in on the action, and then of course it wouldn't be complete without Curtis Martin getting into the end zone. And John Hall with a pair of field goals to finish the scoring for the New York Jets, who have from the very beginning of this game been dominant.
Here's Martin, hit immediately as he tries that right side, and the flag is down. And it's against the Jets.
One of the rare penalties against the Jets. They haven't punished themselves today with penalties.
Holding, number 63 offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
J.P. Machado. Next Sunday, folks, CBS doubleheader day, and there are the early games. We're going to be in Philadelphia to see the high-flying Eagles against the banged-up Indianapolis Colts. San Diego will be in St. Louis. Second game, Kansas City at San Francisco, and New England at Chicago. And it all begins at 12 noon, 9 here on the West Coast with Jim Nantz. Is that a bobbles out? No, that's Dion there going side to side, doing his impersonation of a bobble down. He does everything.
If you say so.
He does everything. I think you got to watch. You see him in the leather helmet today?
Yeah, I did.
How good was that? That is the answer.
It's not a real good look.
Give it to Jordan, and the big man at 230 pounds barrels ahead to the 26-yard line. Well, you know, they've got, you see, a reason wanted to bring that in. This is the segue, they call this. You go to the bobblehead dolls. You got Junior and LT and Drew Brees. But see, they're not nearly as active as Dion. I mean, Dion's got it down. But you know, his point with that leather helmet is well taken. You take all that mask and all that equipment away from the front of your face, there'd be a lot less helmet-to-helmet collisions.
The purpose of playing defense is to tackle the person with the ball and to hit them hard and make them not want to come where you are anymore. It's been that way forever. And I understand what the NFL is trying to do to protect a player who's in a defenseless position, but it is a real awkward position now to be a defensive player, particularly a linebacker or a safety that finds themselves getting those open field hits on players. What are you supposed to do?
Well, Junior Seau, when we talked to him, he said, you know, we've got to all be retrained. Yeah. It's got to start in Pop Warner to teach different tackling technique. He said, it's too late for us. I mean, this is what we're a trained breed, and that's the way it's going to be. And Rodney Harrison, when he comes back, he's not going to change. These instincts are going to be the same. 3rd down and 13. And a flag flies before the snap.
We'll start. Number 83 offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Santana Moss gets flagged for a false start, as we have seen already today, where a wide receiver not paying attention kind of dozes off, loses concentration, and starts before the play. That's just you're supposed to look into the football, and you can't hear the quarterback calling the cadence anyway, so you don't go till the ball is snapped.
So they mark it back to the 30, where it'll be 3rd and 18. Meanwhile, the clock just eases forward as the Jets chew up the time. It's 8:13 left in the 4th. Double fake left and then the screen right, and Anderson breaks a tackle, and now finally toppled at the 20-yard line by Quentin Jammer, and that'll bring up 4th down and bring out John Hall, the place kicker.
Jammer with a tackle.
And an injured Jet on the play.
That's Kevin Mawai, the center.
3-time Pro Bowler Mawai down in pain.
4th down, 8 yards to go.
Yeah, we've had an inordinate number of injured players in this game today.
Yes, we have had a lot of injuries, and this is one the Jets are just cringing here. The leader of their offensive line and one of the best free agent pickups the Jets have ever had when Kevin came over from Seattle back in '98. And there's some good news. Kevin, don't do that. He threw a scare into everybody there.
You're looking over at the San Diego defense. And
I think he was talking to somebody about you did it, and well, there's
Leonardo Carson's the one who answers.
That, folks, is called bad blood.
Mawai has to go out for at least a play, and the Jets hope that's all it is, which would signal that just a momentary stunner, maybe a stinger. Out comes Hall. They'll mark it at the 27. 37-yard attempt. Said one blocked. That from 43 yards. He's 2 for 3 today. And this one splits them. And the Jets add 3 more to their total. 37-13. New York with only 7:50 to go.
Come on, hon, just tell me what soaps you want. This isn't really my kind of place.
Dad, I told you, lilac.
Lilac? Just use the stuff I got at the hotel.
Dad.
That's Nextel, right?
Yes.
And the chamomile, too, and honeysuckle.
How about just some soap-scented soap?
That cell phone with the walkie-talkie, right?
Yeah.
So cool.
You should do their commercials.
Commercials? I want to be a serious actress.
This is Doug McDonald. Doug is a normal, healthy man. But there's something different about Doug. There's something that's on his mind. And the sooner Doug deals with it, the better off he'll be.
Let's see. Perfect. Which brings us to Mr. Friday.
What is that? Atmosphere?
And those.
Double glazed baby back ribs. And where are the utensils?
The Friday's take on dinner? Tonight, dig into our mouth-watering double-glazed baby back ribs. Glazed twice for a one-of-a-kind Friday's taste. Eat what you love where you eat at Friday's.
CBS Thursday. On the eve of an execution is a copycat killer on the loose.
This guy may be smarter than me.
Brace yourself for an all-new CSI. Then, the daughter of New York's top prosecutor is kidnapped.
Sounds personal.
But you'll never guess who did it.
20 people would like a piece of me.
All new Without a Trace in CSI Thursday.
And back in San Diego, fourth quarter, 7:50 to go, and Jets pad their lead to 37-13. Most points given up by San Diego all season. Previously 34 by the Chiefs. Paul's kick to Caldwell at the 10. Reverses his field. Nice piece of running and out to the 34-yard line. See the potential he brings to the game. Darling made the tackle.
We saw Kevin Mawai get injured on the last play for the Jets. This is Kevin right here in the middle of the field. I know he's kind of small, but watch as he comes back to block. There, another one of the Chargers comes over, tries to jump over him, and may have either kicked him in the shoulder or the head or some region, and that Kevin Mawai, as he went off the field, appeared to be as close to okay as an offensive lineman can be by this stage of the game. It's impossible to not have something that's hurt. And you're lucky if you only have one thing that's hurt.
Breeze throws underneath and completes to Tim Dwight. That's the first catch of the game for the diminutive Tim Dwight at 5'8" and 180. He said his inspiration is Wayne Corbett of the Jets. He's shown that a small guy can compete and play well in this league. Quick throw is complete to Conway, and Conway to the Jets 46, a first down. And a flag goes down after the play was over. Stops the clock with 7:14 left. Unsportsmanlike against the Jets. That could be a wide variety.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. After the play, number 94 defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
John Abraham did something after the play. Not a personal foul, but something in that broad category, unsportsmanlike.
Well, what we've seen a lot called in that category is taunting. That falls into the unsportsmanlike conduct, and I think we are all well aware of how the league is trying to crack down on that. I'm unsure of what Abraham was called for, but taunting certainly is something they're really trying to eradicate from the game, although forget about it. It's never going away completely.
There's that shovel pass, and it did not fool Sean Ellis as he hit Terrell Fletcher just as Fletcher caught the ball.
When we talk about removing taunting from the game, I think of some of the things that Dick Butkus has said to me and things that I've heard over the years. I'm sorry, but there's a part of that just it's not ever going to leave the game, and I'm not sure it should.
There's no filter tight enough.
No, there's no filter. What you're trying to do away with is something that incites the crowd or incites the other team into some sort of physical confrontation. There's no need for that. But the verbal part of the game, that's fun.
Breeze to Conway, who's open for first down. Clock still runs at 6:50. Monday on CBS, an all-night of new night of America's Best Television. There's the lineup with King of Queens yesteryear. Everybody Loves Raymond still standing. The new hit series CSI Miami, and of course stay up for Dave and the Late Show at 11:30. First down at the 19. 6 catches for Conway and a touchdown. This one almost intercepted, thrown to Tim Dwight, but Ray Mickens was closer to the ball.
Well, it was thrown behind Tim Dwight, who looked to be open, but Drew Brees kind of threw the ball back behind Tim Dwight, who brought us dessert yesterday when we I guess that was back on Friday when we met with the Chargers. Tim walks in the room with gave me a little piece of baklava. I thought that was a really nice touch.
He said he was celebrating because he just found out he's only 5'8". He said they measured him again.
Yeah, well, he is tiny. He wears a stocking cap around. It makes him look about 3 inches taller.
Breeze dumps it off underneath the Fletcher, but there are nothing but Jets there, and it's a loss as James Reed makes the play, the second-year defensive tackle from Iowa State. Clock running at 6:26.
Well, this will be a satisfying ride back this coast-to-coast trip for the Jets defense. This hasn't happened to them very often this season where they've had much to feel good about themselves, and this is one of those games.
Breeze to the tight end Alexander, and he's tackled at the 18-yard line, where it'll be 4th down and about 9. Timeout called by Breeze. No, I guess he was just signaling that's the play with a no huddle.
It sure looked like he was calling a timeout then.
4th and 9. The clock is running at 5:45. 4th down and 9, and the field goal doesn't do anything for you. So Breeze will try to get at least 9 yards. He has to advance it inside the 9-yard line. To Alexander again. It's going to be close. Where did he step out? At the 10. The Jets will take over on downs, I believe. They needed to get to the 9 based on the yardstick before the play. That's right. 1st down, Jets the other way.
Boy, Drew Brees sprinted all the way over to the sideline to try to argue that Alexander did indeed pick up the 1st down.
But Aaron Beasley has the stopper. Ooh, that looked like he got a little farther than the 10-yard line.
Well, except it looked like his left foot did step out, at least from that angle. Looked like it did hit the sideline. Back around the 10.
A timeout with 5:20 to go. The Jets in command.
The 2003 Corolla S with greater performance. It just wants to have fun.
What is it, Daddy?
I think it's a cocoon. One big cocoon.
Excitement has reached a fever pitch. Crowds gather, trying to catch a glimpse of the cocoon.
The cocoon, friend or foe? Go.
It's big, ugly, and different.
Oh, it's unique. It's amazing. It's very exciting.
This just in, cocoons are now being sighted across the country. And all we know is it's one big cocoon.
Look out. It's a butterfly.
It's one big butterfly, son.
Hey, how's it going?
A whole new internet service has landed. Introducing MSN 8, bringing you better email, smart parental controls, and tougher junk mail protection. It's better with the butterfly. New MSN 8.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by new MSN 8. It's better with the butterfly. MSN 8, more useful every day. And by Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
Back in San Diego, where they're conducting a review of the last play, as Marty Schottenheimer has tossed the challenging red flag.
Yeah, Bill Levy under the hood. The official on the field, as we watch Steven Alexander, watch his left foot. It is going to touch the sidelines right there. And there, the foot is outside the 10-yard line. The question is, where is the ball at that particular moment? It would have to be down to at least the 9-yard line.
In the play, the receiver's left foot stepped out of bounds prior to reaching the line of the game. The spot is correct. 1st down, Jets. San Diego will be charged with timeout.
And I think that was a very good call by the official on that side of the field. He made a decision as the location of the ball when his left foot hit the out of bounds. And it really is hard to believe that the football could be 4 feet in front of Steven Alexander as his left foot right there goes out of bounds.
Now, had he not gone out of bounds, the forward lurch would have got into about the 8. It would have been a 1st down.
But the play ends the microsecond his foot touches that out of bounds line.
And San Diego charged with a timeout. It's the first of the second half. 5:20 left, and on the ground, Lamont Jordan, and of course the Chargers looking for running plays now as New York tries to use as much clock as they can. Donnie Edwards with a tackle, and a reminder tonight on 60 Minutes, Another outstanding feature, then an all-new Becker. And how about this, followed by the network television premiere of the James Bond action thriller, The World Is Not Enough, starring Pierce Brosnan. All here tonight on CBS, America's most watched network.
Bond, James Bond. There are the AFC East standings. Miami ruling that division. Buffalo, which got beat today by New England. New England gets back to 4-4. And the Jets next week return home to play host to Miami. So a pretty competitive division, would you not say?
Well, you think the Jets will be 3-5. Should have won last week, their fans would say. Should have beaten Kansas City, the game we did earlier. And they have been a different team since Chad Pennington took over as starting quarterback. High marks for this young man.
And San Diego next week has to travel to St. Louis to play the Rams.
Pennington does throw here, and it's complete. Chris Baker is rookie tight end from Michigan State. Baker's first catch as an NFL performer. Qualcomm Stadium, and a lot of blue empty seats showing now as fans who came full of excitement to cheer for a first place team, they leave saying, ooh, wow. And they've got it. You can't help San Diego fans about thinking back to last year when they were 5-2 and they were high on their hopes, and only to see an 0-9 finish by San Diego, and Mike Riley, then the head coach, dismissed.
That will not happen this year. Not with Marty Schottenheimer. This is a different football team with a different mindset. Although they certainly didn't look it today. Dick, this crowd today, 10,000 short of a sellout?
59,000. They list the sellout as 70,000. I don't know what the exact number is, but there's a contract between the city of San Diego and the Chargers that all unsold tickets the city will buy, and they buy those, and so it's a considerable cost over the course of a season when you don't sell 10,000 seats at whatever the average cost would be.
I don't want to get my Chamber of Commerce card revoked, but I know they didn't look at today, but was this Charger team not 6-1 coming into today's game, and one of the more exciting teams in the NFL? What's going on out here that they're playing in front of that many empty seats? That doesn't seem...
in part, and that is disappointing, and I'm sure the Charger management and everyone else associated with the team are disappointed. But when you know that the game's going to be televised, there are no blackouts because it's assured to sell out. Those seats high up in the end zone aren't quite so attractive. You figure, well, rather than buying that seat, let's stay home, Maud, and we'll watch our Chargers in the comfort of our home.
No, that's a real valid point. You're right.
I think some of that is going on. And there are a few Bob Uecker occupants up there. Those are the real fans.
Site of the upcoming Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 37 last Sunday in January.
That will be a sellout.
70,000 at $400 a seat.
That will be a sellout. Some of the club seats, I think, are going to be 500.
500 for club, right? But 60,000 seats at $400 a piece. $10 for Super Bowl I at the Coliseum. There's another great look down at Qualcomm Stadium from the Goodyear blimp. Great to have the Goodyear blimp Spirit of America with us, based in Carson, California, to the north near Los Angeles. You're driving on the freeway, you can often see it tethered
right there.
Tethered there.
Right on the east side of the expressway, right?
Jets fans, some are here that have migrated west and cheering for the mean green. They were mean today. Did everything right, it would seem. Play calling was just outstanding by the offensive and defensive coordinators. That's Jordan again. He's the workhorse here. Plows across the 30 and has the first down, it would appear, at the 31. San Diego uses its last timeout, or they may just say, hey, with that first down, what difference does it make? No, the clock will continue to run.
Here, 2 yards to the 31.
That's right. With that challenge, they lost a timeout, so that they have exercised all of their timeouts. Well, you know, it's what makes this such a wonderful game.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, if you'd have said final score 37-13, say, wow, Chargers must have had a really nice game. I mean, I think a lot of people would be shocked by this score.
Everyone would have said, true to form. San Diego whoops up on the Jets.
The Jets will be 3-5 and certainly will renew their own spirit, if not high hopes of the Jet fans. And there's the FC Western standings with San Diego losing, and Oakland currently is tied, I understand, late in their game. This is going to be a race right to the final weekend, don't you think?
Well, there's no question. It's the toughest division in football. When you look at Kansas City in last place.
You don't want to be playing Kansas City, folks. That team.
No.
And now they're finally showing some defense, too. At least they did to the Raiders last week.
How about if we watch this play from up here? Let's watch this from all the way. Let's watch it from the blimp.
Lamont Jordan out to the 38-yard line against a battered San Diego defense. McNeil and Edwards make the tackle. Enough to turn your hair gray, blue, Technicolor.
It's enough to pull it out if you're a Charger.
New 5-star denim from Wrangler. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans.
We build it to withstand earthquakes, the elements, anything you can imagine.
At Toyota, we build to withstand the things you can't imagine. The Tundra was given the highest overall safety rating for full-size pickups by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. The Toyota Tundra, better from the ground up.
Dead meat. You're the best. You're the best. Come on,
If they're into movies, go to the one place that has it all. There's something fun for everyone at Best Buy.
CBS Friday. This ex-cop still protects the innocent. Now he'll fight to save the life of his ex-partner.
I'm not losing my family. Maybe I can help.
All new Hack. Then Tom Sizemore is riveting in Robbery Homicide Division. Don't miss his can't look away performance.
Gotta tell us everything.
Robbery Homicide Division after Hack Friday.
Well, the Jets answering the positive call from their coach Herman Edwards, and you have to think Marty Schottenheimer is going to have to use all that philosophy on his team this week.
Marty's just going to. Why did you guys not bother to show up today? Because this has been a across the board disappointing effort by the Chargers. No one is spared.
It's just puzzling. Jordan again, running free, and there's only one man that can catch him. And he isn't. Lamont Jordan with a little frosting. And that secures a very impressive day for Herman Edwards. 61 yards for Jordan. And a beleaguered Charger defense caught off guard there. No one could tackle the big man. Jordan, who has his first touchdown of the season.
Well, we're going to see a major missed tackle right in the hole. Vernon Fox. You can't miss it any bigger than that. Again, subbing for the injured Rodney, not injured, but the suspended Rodney Harrison. Vernon Fox, the defense called correctly. The strong safety right up into the hole, right face to face with the running back. And boy, that'll make for a painful film session.
Paul adds the extra point. Lamont Jordan's longest run of the season was 17 yards, 61 big ones, and a score for the former Maryland star to run the score to 44-13. 107 yards late in the game rushing for Lamont Jordan.
Again, good blocking up front. Everybody did their job. Gerald Soule did a good job at the point of attack, the fullback, but Jordan just busted right through the tackle, and away he goes. And boy, does he have some open field speed.
At 230 pounds.
That's getting 230 motoring. Now the power right there to break the tackle you would expect, but this is a pleasant surprise at 230. And you think this doesn't mean something to Herman Edwards?
So many good things to take back to New York with you and to work on and build upon for next week. That's why they coach.
Well, these guys get paid to play as well. Chargers aren't the only ones drawing a paycheck.
And a reminder, stay tuned for everyone, but those of you on the West Coast, right after the game, it'll be 60 minutes, then Becker, and then James Bond. The world is not enough. Outstanding lineup as always on Sunday night, so stay with us. Of course, those of you watching here on the West Coast will see the Sunday night lineup at its usual time, 7 o'clock start. Shea Caldwell and Tamarick Van over deep as Paul sends one high into an emptying Qualcomm Stadium. It's Caldwell. Oops, which way you want to go? Shea, right back where you started, and out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Well, we know where we're going, to New York.
All right, Dick and Dan, just a little update here. They're going to overtime in Oakland. The 49ers on the last play of regulation. Jose Cortez, 27-yard field goal try for the win. He hooked it badly left. So they're going to OT in Oakland, and the Redskins defeat Seattle today 14-3. Let's go back to Dick and Dan.
Wow, thank you, Jim. That means the 49ers had the ball on the 10-yard line, end of the game. And
49ers, if they lose that game, Cortez may have to pay his own way back across the Bay Bridge.
Pay that tough toll. You pay going in, it's free going out. A minute 40 left for Drew Brees. Underneath and way off the mark to Terrell Fletcher. Doug Flutie has not thrown a pass this year, and this is not the time that Marty wants to send him in as we remind you about next week's doubleheader. There's the lineup. We'll be looking forward to seeing that Donovan McNabb and the Eagles against the Colts in Kansas City, San Francisco. Another big game, New England and Chicago. And the smile, there it is. See what? Right, fake left. Dion will have some more moves for you next week.
Marvin Jones pretty excited about the way things have gone. Yeah, when you get beat up as badly as they've been, it's a great feeling.
Underneath, and a diving catch made by Terrell Fletcher. Short of the first down. This is all cosmetic time for Brees and the Chargers. And the Jets can already talk about how good this feels. How can we continue to repeat how we performed today? Alexander right into Garnes and runs through that tackle and battles to the 30 in a first down. That's the first third down conversion today for San Diego, 1 for 8. So we want to send along from all of us here at CBS Sports, one of our colleagues on the crew, Art Cole and Eileen Best. They want the best of luck. Their wedding coming this week. Art, our videotape operator. So Art and Eileen, all the best on your upcoming wedding.
Pass is incomplete, intended for Terrell Fletcher.
So we're almost another 40 seconds away, and the fish tacos are on me, Dan. There you go. Look at this. That's a now that's a good eating. That's good eating, a fish taco. It doesn't sound right, I know.
What was that big thing you threw on the bottom of that? Was that like a hunk of fish?
I can't tell you everything. They'd kill me if I gave you the recipe.
Oh.
That's a piece of fish.
Oh. I'm more of a traditional taco guy. I kind of think there should be some ground beef in there. So.
Well, maybe you get apples. They do have those too. Ball is intercepted. It's Aaron Beasley. No, Donnie Abraham, who comes up with the interception, and he's to the 32-yard line. And so on that note, mercifully, the Jets will be able to come out and kneel down once, and it'll be over.
Look how funny that ball came off of Drew Brees' hand.
Abraham's third interception of the year, is 34th in his young career. And just another play to add to the smiles on the Jets sidelines. Again, stay tuned. 60 minutes is just 31 seconds away. Except for those of you on the West Coast, usual time, 7 o'clock.
You see that ball come off the hand of Drew Brees? He lost control of it right at the start. It just came out of there fluttering and floating.
And that'll do it. The final kneel down will kill the last half minute. And Herman Edwards over to shake hands with the man who was his head coach when he was an assistant with the Kansas City Chiefs for 5 years under Marty Schottenheimer.
Marty, I'll say this about Marty. He's been to a few rodeos. He's been on both ends of these kind of games. He won't panic. He won't he won't go in and bring down the wrath of God on his team. He'll just regroup, go back to work, and try to recover.
Well, you can just hear him now. Yeah. We're at the halfway mark of the season, guys. 6-2. We're tied for first place with Denver. And we had taken that at the start of the year. And there's the final. Chad Pennington and company. Very impressive in San Diego today with a 44-13 victory. 60 minutes and a big lineup on Sunday night on CBS upcoming. Stay with us here at CBS. For Dan Deerdorf and Bonnie Bernstein, this is Dick Enberg. So long from Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego, where the Jets celebrate their 44-13 mashing of the San Diego Chargers. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.